Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to this live stream. This stream that is live. We're going to be doing a stream with some patrons. I'm a little bit late. I'm running a little bit behind time, which I always do. But we got a couple people here because I didn't post the link quick enough. You know, my fault. I didn't post the link quick enough. But we got two guys here. We got Heavy. This guy's been we've chatted before. He's a good guy. I like him. He's pretty hot. And then we got somebody I haven't talked to before, Jesus, right? We call you Jesus?
Yeah, that's me, bro. Come back from the dead.
He definitely he looks pretty Jesus-y, so that's pretty cool. I like that. So how you guys doing?
Pretty good. The stream audio is coming through pretty decent too.
It sounds all right? Okay, that's good. That's what I like to hear. Oh,
I'm nervous, but I'll get through that.
Yeah, no worries, man. We're gonna make it. We're gonna make you feel good. We're gonna make you feel nice and welcome.
Hell yeah!
Make you feel nice and good.
Oh,
So
yeah.
okay, so as you guys can tell from the title, we're gonna be talking about Kilroy, the free speech conference that's gonna be coming up next year. And I was actually going to so I was gonna have Base Mama because she actually had a hand in making setting up the event with Dave Cullen, Computing Forever. She was gonna come on, but she's on another stream actually right now. So if we're still streaming in about an hour, which I don't know, yeah. But before I go, before I go into that, I'm an idiot because I'm just totally blanking. I'm doing too many things at once. But here I didn't announce. I have my good friend Shayla here.
Hey guys.
And if you didn't recognize her, she was in my latest video.
Yeah, the Twitter.
Yeah, the stupid shit on Twitter. She was on there. She was hanging out on the couch. So as some people are calling her, some hot broad.
Yeah. So there we go.
Yeah, there you go. Sounds pretty good. That's a pretty good name. I mean, especially you're gonna get into YouTube.
It was something I would use. I mean, how cocky is that? Like, oh yeah, they call me some hot broad.
Some hot broad. Hey, you didn't come up with it, so you know what I mean.
Oh, so we're gonna all of a sudden do it.
Yes.
She can still steal it.
Well, I can still call me.
I mean, at least like as I don't know, just as a side joke nickname. It doesn't have to be your official channel name. I mean, I would use it. That's just me.
I would even want that.
Obviously, I would use it. My name is fucking some black guy.
If someone called you some hot black guy, you would have ran with it for sure.
No, that isn't wrong.
Oh yeah, no, bull. You definitely would have.
It doesn't even roll the fucking tongue.
Like the broads are calling me hot.
No, what I'm saying is that like the way that it rolls off, some hot broad, it rolls really well, and like kind of like hot rod. It just kind of sounds good. Sounds good. Some black guy, it works really well. Somebody even sent me a message because they're listening to the latest Joe Rogan podcast. I listened to it too, and he was telling a story, and he said, I was watching some black guy on Instagram, and then so people were like, wait, is he talking about some black guy? And no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me, but I was just like, yes.
Do you like things that roll off the tongue? Like when we were doing the stream, you didn't want 4 minority.
Yeah, I didn't want
like no, it has to be 3.
It has to be 3. Triple minority, quadruple minority. It's not too many syllables. Too many syllables.
Oh yeah, I love the fan art that came out of that too.
Wait, there was fan art? I didn't see any.
I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up.
It's too.
It was
perfect.
pretty funny.
It's pretty good. Like I'm gonna pull it up right now. It's pretty good.
And they added so many like minor like details that like made it so much better. Like the fact that they put the rainbow socks and everything.
They put some really good work into it. And there was a couple of them, but this one.
Yes.
I'm gonna let me share it. Let me share it right now so everybody can see. I'm like retarded.
You shared it on Twitter a couple of days ago, didn't you?
Yeah. It's
Oh my god.
Yeah, this thing right here. So you can see like how much detail it was put into it. Like it shows like, you know, make sure you think again before pressing a triple minority dirty double, because this guy.
And then I love how they put the tweet at the bottom of it. And now forever will know that Jose freaking is a
double minority. But you know what's kind of fucked up though? I had one person. Because everybody laughed about it, had a good time. They're all joking about it. And then one guy, though, was like straight up talking shit to that guy, Jose. And then Jose was like confused. And he was like, oh, I saw your tweet in some black guy's video. He tagged me.
Yeah.
And so I sent a message to that guy. I was like, dude,
chill.
Like leave that guy alone. And I was like, dude, please, like, don't.
Stop personally attacking him.
Let's laugh in what everybody's been doing. But this one guy was just. He was like personally offended, you know, and he went like out of his way.
And that person makes us look bad because we're just trying to laugh at stuff.
Yeah, we're just trying to have fun.
Yeah, basically, I told him.
Yeah. You always end up finding somebody like that. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's all good. I just told him like, you know, because I don't want it to get to the point where I have to start. I have to start
monitoring.
I have to start. Or blanking out everybody's. Because on Twitter it's different. Twitter's pretty open, and most people have aliases on Twitter.
Yeah.
And so it's like whatever. It's unlike Facebook, where 90% of people on Facebook have their stuff privated, and the only people that can see people's stuff is, if you're their friends. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things that when it's on Facebook, there's a lot of people I wanted to cross their names out because you don't want people to search up and it seems a little personal. Twitter's always been a different thing. Same thing with Tumblr and a lot of different shit. But I don't want to start having to just scrub out everything because, just a small minority of people might do something like that. Yeah. And that's what always happens. The small minority of people, the vocal minority ruins things for the silent majority, right? Yeah. It's always, it always goes. Yeah. I don't want it to be like that. We're just trying to have fun here. All right. So I'm going to pull up this, I kind of fucked up because I wanted to pull up, I want to talk about Kilroy. And, I was gonna have Bass Mama on, but she's a little busy right now. But it's fine. I made
do you know the full list of speakers so far? Because the only ones I know about are Repsion, TJ, and Blair White.
Okay, I'm gonna pull up the website. I'm gonna pull up the website, and then that's so I can give people a good look at what's going on. We're gonna go through it a little bit, and this is something that I made a video about. But I didn't get to release it because, okay, first of all, just to be completely honest, I've been feeling a little jaded about YouTube lately, and I've been kind of working on music behind the scenes. I really want to kind of dive into that. And then, so when I finally got around to making the video, what I did was I recorded on my new laptop, which has the fans are really fucking loud on it because of the processor and the graphics card. They're pretty strong, so sometimes my fans are going a little out of control. So what I did was I used my mic that I usually use. And I recorded with my DSLR camera, and that fucking my laptop. I was updating a driver for my graphics card, and it just fucked the BIOS. It's done. It just I can't start the computer anymore. It just and then I tried resetting it, the BIOS to it it'll just reboot from an earlier date, and it's not working. Long story short, I lost the audio, and the audio that's on the camera, the DSLR camera, since you can hear my laptop going, it's just too loud, and I can't use it. And because I usually just mute that shit, and then I use the audio that I recorded through my mic. Yeah. And so I was so fucking mad that day. That was yesterday. And I ended up just taking a nap and then going to see Justice League. And then, turned out to be good? It was okay.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Okay, don't tell me anything else. Don't tell me anything else.
That's all I'm going to say is that Justice League, for anybody, I'm going to say this about DC. I'm going to say this. There's witch hunts.
Wait,
I'm not spoiling.
Are you? No, I want to know. Are you leaning towards DC or Marvel?
Well, as far as
just because that gives me
here's the thing. And I'm a DC head. I grew Batman, Green Lantern, all this shit. This is what I grew up with mainly. I've always grew up with Marvel and DC, but I've liked DC characters much more. It's just because the stuff their quality and their comics. Their comics are much better than Marvel's. But as far as the cinematic universe, yeah, Marvel's doing a hell of a lot better than DC. That's just obvious. Any fucking blind person can see that, right? But,
it's funny you say that though, because there's a bit. Oh,
go ahead. We're listening.
Okay, there's a big difference between the DC's cartoon animations and Marvel's cinematic animations. DC knocks it out of the park every single time with their cartoons, movies.
Absolutely. Their animated movies are fucking perfect.
Yeah.
They're great. They're great.
But they just can't get the movies right. Justice League, I give it a 5, maybe 6 out of 10.
I'd give it a 6, kind of. I'd say a 6 is kind of a light 6 is all right. It's all right. It's all right. I didn't hate it. It wasn't like BVS because honestly, Batman vs Superman, I give no points. I hated BVS. I hated BVS. I hated it so much, and I'm sorry, guys, in the chat that we're getting so far off into this shit. We're not even talking about.
I'm gonna when you just said that, I'm just not gonna say anything, just so we can move forward.
Okay, because I'm assuming that you probably liked it or something.
By the way, Shu on Head's in the chat. By the way.
Oh, she is. What up, Shu? Man, I always try to get Shu to come on. She never wants to come on. Makes me so sad. I love Shu.
God damn it, Shu.
Funny how Jesus spotted her.
And look at. She's like, "Who is the cute girl?" This is Shayla. Shayla was in my latest video. Yeah, she was on the couch hanging out. Yeah, stupid shit on Twitter. Good friend of mine. She's gonna start doing YouTube pretty soon. I'm gonna help her out with some stuff. So she agreed to just jump on here, and afterwards we're gonna discuss her channel and all this stuff, and see if she can be successful. She's vibrant. She's cool. I think she can do it. People. If I believe in somebody, I will definitely spend time and try to help them out. And that's just how it is. If I see someone's content, or if I see somebody and I meet them like, you'd be good for this, I'm not gonna I wouldn't do it for anybody. You know, if I just know like one of my friends has been telling me this for a while, like, hey, help me. And I'm like, you're boring as shit, bro. Yeah. Like you're not made for that shit. Like, I'm sorry. I don't want to be a dick, but I just kind of avoid the situation. But
yeah,
okay.
Chris.
Well, no, for sure. Sargon of the Kid said he's in this too, as far as the Arizona event.
Oh no, yeah, we're gonna go over the list. We're gonna go over it right now. We're gonna actually start talking about Kilroy now.
That's a good segue.
All right, cool.
I need to see how I just like threw something in there.
Yeah, it was pretty good. No, I was getting there. All right, so I'm gonna share the screen. We're all gonna look at this. We're all gonna have a good look at we're all gonna look at some of this Kilroy. So here's KilroyEvent.com. And so this is the event. The event is a free speech conference. It's going to take place April 21st through the 22nd of 2018. So it's pretty far away. It's still a long time to get a lot of stuff in order. They have a fundraiser going on right now, and it's actually doing fucking so well.
Really good.
All things considered, because I don't even think it's been up for 2 weeks. Officially.
Oh, wow.
Considering it's grassroots, like this is all.
Oh yeah, this is like, fucking amazing.
There is no big funding for this.
Exactly. We don't have no George Soros or nothing like
exactly,
that. Even though it would be nice if we did. But no, so we have the overall goal is $85,000, and it's already at $59,000, almost $60,000. So you have right here the $8,000 for the convention center deposit. You have $39,000 for just the convention center itself, like so we can actually be in there, and then the security, which is pretty expensive, $238,000. But it's all things considered, it's pretty cheap because remember Ben Shapiro's security cost
alone.
It costs $500,000 just for him to be at Berkeley in California.
What?
Yeah, $500,000.
Really? That was crazy.
Just to be, just for that. That's crazy. So you have this, which is only $85,000 in total. That's why it's good place that it's at Arizona. And one of the reasons why it's at Arizona is a little more conservative and a little more concerned about free speech than say being in California, where you know
have all this kickback.
Yeah, in Arizona, there's probably going to be Antifa. There's going to be like a bunch of Antifa going crazy in Arizona. I've actually lived in Arizona 3 different times, and I've actually. I like it, you know, other than the extreme heat, 120-degree weather in the summer. But that's only from June to like, you know, June until like around October. Then it cools down. Other than that, in April, it's gonna be nice spring weather, nice dry, warm, no humidity.
As if that's gonna like keep people back though. It could be 120.
Are you
like
kidding
me?
The
diehard people would be.
Oh, the diehard people would be
fighting for free speech.
But a lot of people would be like, suck my dick. You know, if it were 120 degrees, if it was like in the smack dab in the middle of the summer, they'd be like, yeah, fuck you, dude. I'm not going because I wouldn't go. I'm just kidding. I would go. I would go. I'm just fucking around. Okay, so.
Suck my dick.
I mean, yeah, you know what I mean. Okay, so I want to just read a little bit of this. I'm not going to go through the whole thing because only the 2 first paragraphs are really important, like the openers. This event is taking place at the Sheraton Grand Phoenix Hotel in Phoenix, Arizona. I already mentioned that it's on the 21st, 22nd of April in 2018. The Kilroy event is raising funds right now, and it's the first annual free speech conference. It's going to be fucking sweet. So as advocates of free speech, we are aware that both the necessity of free expression and the direct attack to free speech over the past 2 decades, and we seek to begin pushing back against tyranny of the minority by giving a voice to the silenced majority. And I think tyranny is a little bit of a strong word to use. It's a little bit, but I would say that I totally know what they're saying. Like, say you have the vocal minority. You know, the vocal minority, a lot of the SJWs are the ones that are going crazy. Yeah. And they're the ones that are trying to affect policy. They're the ones that are getting all these identity politics interjected into things that shouldn't be there. And obviously, there are ones that it's weird because usually you'd see like the very far right would be the very far right ones would be the ones trying to control
very
shit.
Far white.
Very far white. I got a little tongue tied.
No, you think that everyone on the far right is white? That's basically
yes.
What just
That's
came
exactly.
Out right now.
That's exactly.
Everyone on the far white.
Hey,
well, I can see why they would like use a word like tyranny too, because they're trying to like use a buzzword and get everybody like interested and be like, wait, tyranny, what's up here?
Well, yeah, that's true. To me, it kind of.
I don't mind.
I mean, to be honest, it makes me. To me, it kind of makes me roll my eyes a little bit. Just because like I don't. The way that I actually see tyranny, like say something when I think about like say an actual tyrant. Yeah. You know that it means something much more to me. You know, say especially me being I'm kind of like a history buff. And tyranny is something like not taking lightly with me. When I hear, I don't really see social justice warriors as tyrannical. I think they're just fucking stupid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
Antifa, they're stupid as fuck. They don't even have. They're not even organized. Like they're not like Like I think of like tyranny and totalitarianism. They flirt and they kind of belong together. But hold on, we don't even need to talk about that. It doesn't matter. But I wanted to check you guys if you wanted to pledge, if you guys wanted to donate and give some support to this bad boy so they can smash this out of the park. There are reward levels, right? And one thing I want to say is that the 250 one, it's full. They people already killed it. They killed that shit.
Damn.
And already
that's freaking awesome, man.
Right?
Like the fact that people care that much to donate that, because they're probably not all going, but still, like the fact that they put $250 down.
Oh no, it's absolutely it's one of those things that like I would be if I were on the outside looking in, I would be the same. If I couldn't go, I would be absolutely. You can let me give you some of this. Something that I would probably even do is if I couldn't donate a lot of money right away, I would say maybe on each paycheck, maybe hey, here's $10, here's $5, because when it comes down to when you have that big extra portion of money, taking chipping away a little bit, it's not that noticeable, right? It's like I can go to a bar and for a night and then buy some drinks. You know what I'm saying? Instead of buying those drinks, I could just throw a little bit of money at the event. It's like I didn't really sacrifice anything. I'm just not gonna have a nice fucking drink for that night. Boo-hoo.
Well.
You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm brewing my own stuff. I'm all right. I can spend money on this.
That's what I do whenever I'm saving for a trip or something. Like I just have to sacrifice nicer stuff, like instead of getting Starbucks or
exactly.
I thought you were gonna be like, I'm an alcoholic and I brew my alcohol too.
Hell yeah! All right, so let's talk about the people that are gonna be there. I'm actually gonna share the screen one more time because I kind of forgot about that. I think that's something that I think a lot of people are more interested in. The people that are gonna be there, and this is where a little bit of controversy gets in, and we'll talk about that too. The controversy of I'll explain it. You guys will probably know what I'm talking about.
Have you seen some of the stuff that Bering's been posting on Twitter about like all of his detractors and being like, why aren't you going?
Oh no, I haven't.
I haven't watched Bering in like a month or something like that.
I feel like that was shade he just threw right now. He was like, I haven't even watched him.
But like,
screw that Bering.
Yeah, fuck Bering. No. Yeah, I just haven't watched his videos recently. Just putting that out there. Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually watched. I've been keeping up with some of his stuff, but it's just like with I've been saying like I've been getting a little jaded, so I've been watching a lot of people's stuff less and less. I usually the only person I've always listened to Joe Rogan. That's one guy that I always like just consistently listen to. As far as like people in the whole YouTube sphere and like the genre of stuff that we do, like it's just watching people less and less, and it's not their content, it's just me. It's just I haven't been that engaged. But
I actually follow a lot of like people here. The ones that I usually watch are Chris, because he's my husband. I'm sorry, and Chris Ray-Gun.
Ray-Gun, okay. All right.
Oh, so we have a gay Jesus.
No, I'm not actually gay. I'm not actually gay.
But I understand.
Yeah.
I feel go ahead.
Derek here and Blair White and I watch a bunch of them, but a lot of them I'm just kind of like sometimes I'll watch them. But Chris is definitely up there of people that I'll watch all the time because his content is just so good.
Yeah, Chris is one of those people that he has what I would call a double-edged sword, because his content's really good because of that, he's always trying to one-up himself. So he usually.
Oh yeah.
That's why.
Well, you saw his MAGA hat video the other day, right?
I think that's Andy.
No, that was Andy.
Oh yeah. Okay, never mind. Okay. I associate the two with each other.
No. Yeah, no. We're talking about Chris Ray-Gun.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and it was just like people. He keeps trying to step it up, and then at a certain point, it's gonna get hard for him to like. Because then it's like, if you're always trying to one up yourself, at a certain point, you're gonna probably plateau. It's like, fuck, how am I gonna beat this? How am I gonna beat this? I mean, he's gonna try, but it's gonna try. That's his own, but it's also gonna make him that much better. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you see, that's why his content and his quality has been getting that much better, and he's deserving everything that he gets. His views, the support is amazing. Actually, I just commented on his stream that he did today, and then he kind of was like, oh yeah, like it's been a while. Let's hang out.
Yeah, I was watching his stream today. That was a fun time.
Oh yeah, it's always like poking in at stuff every once in a while. I like talking shit about Chris Ray Gun. So far, I love.
Same.
I love it. So I did that. If I really care about somebody, that I talk shit. That's just what I do. But okay, hold on. We're getting way off track. I've just been staying on this. So you guys can already see some of the major people on here that are going to be at Kilroy, the Blair White, Bunty King, Andy Worski, Sargon of Akkad, Jeff Holiday, Chris Worski, Matt Jarbo, myself, Rucka Ali, Romy Millennial, Dave Cohen, who put it together with Base Mama, TJ Kirk.
TJ's going. That's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I haven't seen him at anything, so that's pretty cool. Nicholas, who is friends or Wizard of Cause is which he's called his YouTube channel. Arthur Rhetorical Entertainment. I actually don't know who this is. But whatever. I'm sure he's a pretty cool person if he's on here. Brian Martinez. He's with the Honey Badgers, and he's a cool guy. I met him at VidCon.
That's cool. Yeah, I listen to the Honey Badgers.
Okay. Yeah, he's a cool guy. I met him at VidCon. I think he actually I don't want to get into there right now. So Repsion's gonna be there. That's cool. I've never met him before.
Yeah, he's another favorite of mine.
Dimitri Krivosinister. I have no idea how to say that. I don't know who he is, but he looks fancy, so that's pretty cool. Brian Edward, he's one of the Mythicist Milwaukee people, so that's gonna be cool that he's there. Andrew Torba, I don't know who that is, but he's probably associated with him just because they're next to each other. I'm just making a guess. Chris Ray Gun, which I know he's gonna be. That's gonna be cool. Maybe we can get a carpool going on or something. Tim Pool, I like Tim Pool. I actually played a game of pool with Tim Pool.
Yeah, I actually made a good video yesterday about the Kilroy event, which I'm sure we'll talk about.
Yeah, Nick Monroe. I don't know who Nick is. Luke Radowski. I know who Nick Radowski is. He's of We Are Change. He's I kind of like him. I think he's a pretty cool guy, and I think he's done a lot of important work as far as journalism goes. He's traveled a lot of places, and he's been pretty independent. Just has his little company, We Are Change. I think he used to be somewhat associated with InfoWars, but then I think they went their separate ways because of that's just kind of how things go with InfoWars. A lot of people that were associated with them kind of went their separate ways after a while because they're like, this is a little weird. This is a little weird.
Frogs and whatnot. I think I'm gonna back.
Yeah,
off.
Certain things are like, I don't really want to be. I really don't want to be here. Okay, somebody said Andrew Torba is the CEO of Gab. Okay, thanks for that. Oh shit, sorry.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, so Brittany Pettibone. Which I don't have a problem with her. I think she's all right. I know she's been.
I don't even know.
I know she was. She has to have a podcast with what was that one girl? I think Tara McCarthy, who is very problematic. Very the dark side of the alt-right. The ones that are those stereotypes that you see that pretty much are racist as fuck and hate Jews. But I've never seen anything. I've never seen anything like her from that. So I don't.
Let's not go with the rumors then.
There's no rumors at all. I'm just saying where I think I remember her from. I think she was on a podcast that wasn't. It was just a podcast talking about the political climate and stuff in the West. Mm-hmm. Ray Vahey, I'm not sure who that is either. Foxy Comedy. I know Skeptor.
I'm interested to see what Lauren Southern will be talking about.
I imagine Lauren Southern's definitely going to be talking about mass immigration. I imagine she's going to talk about a lot of that because that's what she talks about a lot. And she also talks about like conservatism, like say women being conservative, right. and it would probably make them more happy if they had more conservative values. Mm-hmm. Which there is an argument for that. So that'd actually be a really good conversation to have with people that oppose her views, the ones that are more about promiscuity and stuff like that, and maybe polygamy and shit like that.
Her shtick,
Yeah,
is you're right, mass immigration and more conservative like womanhood. I guess.
Yeah.
It's funny that she's gotten to that because like my first introduction to her was her cosplay, and then she totally got into like politics like hardcore.
What was it?
Lauren Sutherland, her cosplay.
Interesting. I first discovered her back in 2015 when she was talking about men's rights issues, and I was just like, "Who's this? God damn, who is this, bro?" I was totally.
Who are you?
I was totally like, oh, dude, Lauren's fucking great. And then her politics started kind of like going more towards like, I don't really identify with a lot of stuff she's saying anymore. But I'm still cool with her. I don't like have any problem with her or anything like that. She's doing her own thing. Count Dankula, I'm so excited. Dude. I'm so excited to be Count Dankula.
See, I'm Scottish, and I'll fucking love this dude.
Oh shit, awesome. Nice. Yeah, so that would be like he's like a fucking hometown hero then.
Yeah, definitely.
That's crazy.
Dude right here.
if you guys don't know his story, Count Dankula's story, just real briefly, he did a joke on his channel where he taught his girlfriend's pug how to Nazi salute. Right?
Oh, yeah.
If you guys remember that, that was the funniest shit ever. And then obviously,
oh man, I got a lot of things to say about that, but we don't have time for that.
Yeah. Well, we can definitely maybe towards the end we can kind of like shoot the shit about other
that's
things.
what he's known for.
That's
like,
what he's
forevermore. Oh yeah, I taught my pug how to Nazi
That's
salute.
fucking great, dude. Like. What a silly, harmless joke, but it just shows you the how things are, especially in the UK, how there's those man. Even this guy, what was his name? Damn, he's this other Scottish YouTuber. I can't remember his name right now. Goodfella. Same thing. He got arrested recently for a tweet. And then
it wasn't even like an offensive tweet at all, but they saw that and were just like, "Oh, you can't say that." It's like, fuck off. He didn't say anything. So,
he didn't say anything. And
but what did his tweet
they
say?
interpreted it as it didn't like he said something about it had to do with like what was it, Muslim and truck or something? What was it?
It was like oh fuck, I can't remember. It was something about a Muslim and a van, and they interpreted that as like, oh, because of all the like terrorists using trucks to run over people, they interpreted that as a terrorism like act. So they didn't allow that, and they were like, oh, for fuck's sake, he didn't even mean it like that.
This is the death of common sense now.
You can't like it's one of those it's one of those things.
Common sense, like it just.
See,
no, that's one of these
things. Like the Scottish police, and I guess the UK police in general, were all like they were seen as like the great police, but now they're just like a fucking joke. Honestly, they don't take anything seriously anymore.
I imagine so. I mean, that's just hearing shit like that. I'm like, wow, that is a big joke. It's something that I definitely wouldn't want to be a part of. That like, it's even something a lot of people don't know about me. Back in 2008, when I was living in Phoenix. No, I wasn't living in Phoenix, but I was living in Arizona, and I was gonna join the Maricopa County Police Department. I was like right there. I did the inquiries, everything that I. Even about my tattoos, and like, as long as you don't get any more, you'll be fine. But then I started like actually looking more into the stuff that they were doing, and I just thought, I'm like, well, I'm not going to be able to do my job properly because of the type of people they were hiring and the type of stuff that they were doing. Because I just want to actually literally protect and serve, because I like the idea of that, and of just being like, a person that's looking out for the little guy and as whooping criminals' asses, But there's a lot of stuff like. There's a lot of stuff. There's unfortunately there is a such thing as the thin blue line. There's some people that so there's some people in law enforcement that abuse the fuck out of it. Yeah. And
absolutely.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate that there was a lot of people I talked to on Facebook in the whole area, because there was like groups and people that keep in touch with each other in communities, and they were saying that X, Y, and Z got fired because they dimed out this other person for doing some fucked up shit. Like just really bad stuff. Not like everybody looks away from little things here and there. Like, that's fuck that. I ain't dealing with that shit. No, but like say like actual excessive force, and then it's like, bro, I'm not comfortable being your partner because you're doing something really bad. You shouldn't be whooping people's ass for no fucking reason. And then say because of that whole thin blue line thing, they're like, oh, this person is untrustworthy, and then they'll like figure out a way to get them fired. And there was multiple cases, and I was like, you know what, dude, I'm probably gonna be one of those people. And I don't want to even deal with that, so I kind of just like I fucked off.
There is a lot of drama. One of my best friends, he's an LAPD officer, and he's gone through multiple court cases where he was like charged, and they had to do a whole investigation because he was protecting the innocent, and they thought that he was like racially profiling or whatever. But if most of the gangs are black in LA, you know what I'm saying, and then he ends up like hurting like a black kid because that black kid was like
that's kind of
an armed robbery. Yeah, it is a big ordeal.
Yeah, and it's so sensitive right now too, to the point where if you talk to a lot of officers, they'll even say stuff like, oh, I can't do my job properly because I'm afraid of, if I kill the quote unquote wrong person, which meaning the wrong person of color, or then it can end my career, even if it was justified. Like say how things are going.
Yeah, and then they're scared to, protect.
Hell yeah, that sucks. I mean, I think Michael Brown was like one of the prime examples of that, where people now what a lot of people remember from that, especially people that are on the very far left, is hands up, don't shoot. That whole thing. They're all chanting that shit like something that never had. It didn't happen. Nothing happened.
There's no proof of it.
There was just some guy that strong armed a liquor store and then try to fuck with a cop and then he got killed. That's kind of how it went.
Yeah, no one wants to be a cop anymore. It kind of sucks.
It's very shitty if you want to be a cop. Okay.
Anyways,
so let's talk about why there's controversy with the guests that are going. So if you haven't figured it out yet, the vast majority of people that are attending this, that are going to be speaking or that are featured, we're all kind of friends. We all kind of have common goals. I wouldn't say we're all the same, but people are accusing Kilroy of being a echo chamber. They're saying that, it's just going to be an echo chamber of thoughts.
That second Twitter link, that's a perfect addition to this. That's the bearing tweet to Christy Winters and all that stuff.
Okay,
basically talking about how they always criticize us for having echo chambers, but they're never willing to actually talk to the other side.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. Dude, did you see that? Like, I was looking at, like, that tweet. I'm gonna pull it. I'm gonna share it so you guys can see. Like, there was a tweet from the one janitor, and I wish I had it pulled up. I think Base Mama had it. Oh, she should be here so then she can talk about it. Okay. But whatever, doesn't matter.
Salty much?
I want to show you. Hold on, man. I just fucked up. Sorry. Let me pull this up. I'm doing too many things. And then let me pull up this tweet, and then we can show you guys what I'm talking about. But the one janitor,
everybody watching, give him a minute because he is on his less powerful computer right now.
I'm on my. I did it again. I'm on my. Oh, it's just right here. Fine. But so let's see. Like, say in your live stream, you should talk about how the Kilroy event is going to be an echo chamber. Lol. And yeah, what he's talking about, because basically the Atheist Conference, which is going to have it's just basically all the super left-leaning, the whole typical social justice warrior talk. And there was people like the one janitors, people like Christy Winters, people like Steve Shives. They're all talking about this echo chamber stuff, mainly Christy Winters. But Steve Shives obviously was invited here, and he was laughing like, are these guys fucking serious? Like
oh yeah, I remember that tweet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm going to come to an event that's harassed me and my wife for years.
And my wife. Yep, that was it. That was it.
Anything that Steve Shives is involved in, is going to be a shit show.
Dude, I'm going to the Atheist Conference. I'm so excited because I'm literally specifically going for Steve Shives, and that's it. Like,
are you going to walk up to him or what?
If he doesn't freak out, I'm hoping that maybe he doesn't even know who I am. I'm hoping, because I've never like really
made contact.
I've never really made. There's a possibility he doesn't know who I am. There's a possibility.
You need to take your victim points mentality thing. The three traits. Be like, hey, I'm a this, and this.
I'm this and this. You need to listen to me. You must listen to me. You know, and that's the kind of thing that there's that guy Destiny or Stephen Bonnell II, where he's like one of those people that are like, oh, we need to listen to minorities and women and stuff like that. But then if there are women and people of color or minorities that don't agree with his rhetoric, then we're sellouts or we're this or that. Because like there was this girl named Patty Politics, good friend of mine. She was having like an argument back and forth on Twitter with him, and he straight up called her an Uncle Tom, and I was just like, huh. And I'm just like, I thought this guy was like so anti-racist, like he was really trying to. I'm like, but the fact that you would call a black person, like instead of listening to them and being like, hey, maybe I need to listen to this black person as well because this person's value, the way that he thinks, that's how it should be.
That
but
just shows you it's just a load of crap.
Oh yeah,
it's not true at all.
Complete bullshit.
It's exactly, because exactly what you just said right now. When it comes to if they don't have the same opinion as them, all of a sudden their minority points like, don't count.
You're not
They're
black.
Just out the door.
You're not really black.
You're not. Yeah, exactly. I saw a clip today on Facebook where it was a clip taken out from the show Blackish, and it was like the dad so distraught because like his son said, "Oh, I'm a Republican," and the dad was like, he's not, basically saying like, my son can't be black and be a Republican, like saying like he's like a shame for him, like it's not possible. Like you need to watch the clip because it's like they're freaking out, like the mom and dad are losing their minds, and I know it's like a comedy show, but at the same time it's like there's a lot of people who genuinely think that. If you cannot be out of the Democratic bubble at all, like if you even try to go to the middle, like independent, you're shunned from your black family.
I always thought that was funny to me because when you think about it, a lot of values that black people uphold in the community, A lot of times it'll lean a lot more towards conservatism. You know, especially when a lot of people think about conservatism, they think about Republicans, they think religion. They think about a lot of religious type of values. And black people, majorly, are religious as fuck. They hate all the same stuff. So
you would think.
It would make more sense.
You know what's so messed up about this conversation?
What's
we have been getting pounded so much with this stupid, you're an Uncle Tom, oh, you can't say that. Oh, how racist is it to say it's okay to be white? That I literally, it's starting to like give me a complex to where I'm kind of like, should I talk about this now? Or am I just going to start a shit storm and have everybody jump down my shit? To where like, it's messed up that like people cannot, they're so attached to like that one little thing in their personality, like you were saying with the religion and their politics and all that stuff, that they can't understand that when somebody criticizes just that one aspect, they're not being disrespectful to that person. They're just criticizing the idea, and they're so attached to it. It's retarded. You can't carry on a conversation because they don't really care. They only see, oh, you're attacking me, and it makes it so difficult to even like you said, Derek, you're getting like tired of like YouTube for a little bit. I totally understand that because I can see where everybody's getting that fatigue now of we're constantly getting attacked to where like everybody's videos, the amount of videos they've been making is the number's been going down and people aren't quite as active because everybody's like, dude, I'm getting sick of talking about the same shit over and over and over again.
Jaded, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now. And one thing, I was just talking to my buddy. It's funny. I actually have a friend named Jesus. And so, yeah.
Oh, yeah, right here.
Yeah. The real life Jesus. This guy. But this guy, he was it was funny because I was telling him the same thing that we were kind of talking about, and I was saying that I've been getting a little jaded and a little sick of some of the bullshit, right? But he was saying, but it needs to be done. He was saying but it needs to be done. People still need to stick around, and what he was talking about is like, look at what some of the stuff that's been able to happen as far as like say, misgendering somebody or not using someone's proper pronouns. You can get in trouble in New York, you can get in trouble in Canada. I think in California as well. Look at certain things that are starting to creep. Like we're not like it hasn't. The problem still exists. A lot of people think that just because you made fucking 20 videos shitting on feminism and SJWs doesn't mean the problem is gone away whatsoever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's absolutely true. It's one of those things that there still needs to be people there. There still needs to be people that need to talk about this stuff. And all I was saying is that I'm glad that people like Sargon exist. There's people that have these very large channels that can still talk about a lot of this stuff. Because I think that at the end of the day, in like a year or so, if I were gone, it wouldn't be the biggest, like people's more entertainment aspect and value of things. Because I want people to kind of leave my videos feeling a little bit better. That would be, a little bit of that would be gone. But as far as like getting information and what's going on, people like Sargon, like he's never going to stop. You know, people like that, they're going to be there, and I appreciate them. I don't think that as long as somebody like Sargon and others aren't getting jaded, I think we'll be all right. You know what I'm saying? So it's okay. It's okay.
It sounds like a lame pep talk, but like we need to hold on. We need to like not get tired.
Well, yeah, because
keep fighting the good fight. But I mean, I guess that shit's kind of true. Like you do need to like just not. He said that he's kind of like scared almost. So like, I'm getting worn down.
Like, do getting I really like second thought?
No, like I'm gonna keep going. I get what you're saying. I'm kind of an asshole anyway, so I'm gonna say it regardless.
Yeah.
Man, you scared, dude. Don't lie. You scared.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Like I'm the same here. Like I hate this stuff that's going on. So I just feel like I need to talk about this. Like I'm in like a few communities that like are kind of a bit social justice worry, kind of not like full on like Antifa shit, but it's still got aspects in it. But like in that community, like I'm like a needle in a haystack. There's barely any people that like talk about this shit. So like I just put my shit out there, and thankfully I don't get like, oh, kill yourself or something about it, but it's still like kind of scary to put out there, you know? Like I have autism, and I don't get like offended if someone's like retard low and stuff like that, but I actually fucking love being called a retard. It's hilarious. But
Well, it's good that you can joke about it though.
Exactly.
And that's the thing. Like I've talked to a lot of disabled people. Like it could just be me, and just maybe the area I'm around. But a lot of people don't mind being called retarded. Like that again, that could just be me. But
I don't think so.
Yeah,
I don't think so. I think that there is. I think it is. It's just like we say, the vocal minority. The people. They assume, a lot of people assume that it's a bigger problem than it is because there's a vocal minority screaming about it, and they think like, oh, a lot of those people, like especially even in like say when it comes to black people, a lot of people that are you see on TV or that are writing articles, they don't represent black people in general. Like if you go up and ask black people on the streets about certain things, like what do you think about so and so calling so an N-word, they're gonna be like, what the fuck, get away from me, I don't care. Like I don't know what the fuck are you talking about. Like I don't care.
Like, say, like if a news station came to me and was like, oh, are you autistic? Yes. Do you mind being called a retard? I'd be like, no, I'd laugh at that stuff. But they probably would cut that out and be like, well, see, everyone says that they're offended. It's like, no, I said I would not be offended. I would laugh at that. I joke about it. I actively laugh about that. So it's bullshit.
Yeah, well, then you ask them, like, who is everybody? Who is this everybody that says they're offended?
Yeah.
And you end up finding out it's the oversensitive people that are always on the news saying what the news wants them to say just to make it basically divide everybody.
Cool. Okay. One second. First, I want to we have a new guest now and hasn't said anything. What's your name? What's your name, buddy? I can't. All I see is L on here. And
my name's Dan, but it's El Tiburon is the handle.
Okay. Hey, could you get your mic up a little bit? It's a little
you're
quiet.
A bit quiet, bro.
I mean, I can mess with the.
Is that better?
That is a little better. Yeah. Keep talking. Just say how now, brown cow.
How now, brown cow.
Okay. Yeah, you sound good. You sound good.
That's better.
All right. I think I take the shield off, but anyway.
Okay.
Actually, it's kind of funny that you guys are talking about that because I was thinking about this the other day. That's just the evolution of language, right? Because I remember stupid is actually a dictionary term. Stupid is a person below normal intelligence. Well, then all of a sudden, stupid was offensive, so they came up with retarded. Then all of a sudden, retarded is offensive, so they came up with handicap. Now handicap's offensive, and I don't know what the hell.
It's never ending.
It's so true. That's so fucking true.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? Derek, did you hire an undercover Alex Jones to come in here?
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, this guy is Alex Jones in disguise.
I find that offensive. I don't want to be compared to Alex.
Dude,
I was just waiting for the right moment to say it. Yeah.
I believe in the moon landing, damn it.
There you go.
Man, he's so I love that man so much. He's such a treat to the world. Love him or hate him. Love him or hate him.
Special gifts
he is
to the 21st century.
Absolutely.
The fact that he totally admitted it was all just bullshit too, it makes it even better.
I really
this person said Alex Jones shark.
Yeah, because of that whole thing that went down. That whole thing that went down when he was like
the custody thing.
With the custody with his kids, and his lawyer was like, "Oh, he's just putting on an act," and I was just like,
"Yeah,
that's so good."
Oh, we got a new person.
We got Robert Blake, right?
Yep, Roberto Blake. Yep.
Roberto
Holy
Blake.
crap, how you been, man?
Hello.
Good. How about you guys?
I'm all right.
We've been pretty good, man.
Welcome on the show, Alex.
I think everybody from now on, everybody has to talk like Alex Jones. All right, ready to go.
But I can't do that.
You can just gotta believe, man. You just gotta believe like him.
Christ, I gotta clear my throat. Hang on just a second.
I kind of like keeping my.
And I'm coming. That's terrible.
And
all right. Anyways,
gotta work on it. Okay,
I think we've diverged a little bit here.
Yeah, well, quite a bit. Okay, let me stop you guys there. I'm gonna read these two super chats and then we're gonna get back on topic. So we got two pretty generous ones. Jennifer Compton, what up, girl? $50, dude. Thank you so much. And says, love your channel. Keep fighting the good fight. Keep exposing the truth. You keep it real. You don't take any shit. That's what this country needs right now. Happy Thanksgiving to you and your panelists. Awesome. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. That's gonna be awesome.
Thanks,
Can't wait
Jennifer.
to eat myself into a coma. It's gonna be great.
Yes.
And see stuff like this. And when I say I'm getting jaded, that I see stuff like this, and this is the type of stuff that gets me hyped up. It gets me like, yes, I need to, instead of like for the past few days, I've kind of just been I've slept more than I've slept in the past few years. I've just been taking naps and shit. Like I don't take naps anymore, but I've just been so like, I was like, fuck everything. I don't want to. I'll make something later. I'll do it later. Or I recorded something and I'm like, I'm not gonna edit it. Fuck it, I don't care anymore. But this type of stuff, when I see this, but you know what? I do need to stay on topic. Like keep on looking about it. Like, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, now I got one other one, and I think this is a good tweet. It's from a Will Mage. I don't know, $20. Appreciate it. Invite the alt-right to debate Kilroy and destroy them, then rub it in the SJW's faces. They can't call you outright or Nazis if you make Spencer cry on stage. They'll look bad because the AR, the alt-right, actually have the balls to show up. That's a good point. That's actually something that I actually was wondering if, and this is something that I'll talk to Base Mama when she shows up. I was wondering if the only problem with inviting the alt-right, and this is what I thought, because I thought it would be great to invite some of the alt-righters. The only problem that I thought that there would be is that a lot of the people on the left, like the far-leaning people, would not show up. Like a lot of people that were trying to get them to show up, a lot of the SJWs, if a lot of alt-righters show up, like prominent people that want to speak, they wouldn't come. So it would have to be either or. And then the problem is, and this is total speculation, if we did invite the alt-right and say SJWs didn't show up, then all of a sudden we're alt-right. You know what I'm saying? Even though we're debating them, even though we're trying to be like, nah, fuck you, all these publications and all these outlets are going to write and say, oh, alt-right so conference true. Kilroy. And so that's just speculation, but I think that's how it would go.
Well, it's going to happen anyways. It's just bound to.
I would think so,
yeah. All right, let me kill this one other super chat, and then I'm gonna talk to you because we got a few new guests and we got a base mom, we got everybody. Let me just do this real quick. Oh, it's just Wolfcat Wildcat, 20 Canadian dollars. Thank you, man. He just says happy Thanksgiving and thanks for the shows. Hey, thank you, dude. Happy Thanksgiving yourself, man. Eat yourself to death. Do they do Thanksgiving in Canada? Right?
Well, Thanksgiving is about celebrating
in October, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
America in general, North American. Yeah. I mean, I guess it works. All right, all right, so we got two other people joining us. So we have my boy Troy. This guy's a cool guy. I like him. He's another Army vet, just like Andrew right here, heavy arms.
No, Army, Derek, Army.
Oh, sorry. I'm
digging that up.
Thanks, man.
Okay. I say it, I don't mean it as offensive, but I mean it as like a. You know what I mean? Military. I mean Army as in military. That's what I kind of mean. I didn't mean to say like Army.
Well, that's too bad. I'm offended. Banned, blocked, everything demonetized forever.
Unsubbed.
Yeah, we're gonna start a hashtag campaign.
Sorry, don't fucking shoot me. I know you guys are like all amazing shit. Don't kill me, please.
It's okay. No, I'm just fucking around. I'm busting your balls here.
All right, that's good. Okay, now we got somebody who helped create Kilroy. We have Base Mama. She's here. How you doing? How you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you, baby?
Oh, I'm fucking fantastic. she's such a sweetheart, dude. Such a sweetheart.
See, that's some hot black guy right there.
Some hot black guy.
He's like, that's it. It's in the comments. It's mine.
I don't. No, it doesn't. I'm telling you. Like maybe I'm.
Look at his dimples. You can see them.
Maybe I'm OCD about this shit, but if it doesn't flow, it can't use it. I'm sorry. Like some hot black guy does not flow off the tongue. It sounds fucking terrible. It may be flattering, but it doesn't sound good. You know what I mean?
Hashtag some hot black guy.
Fine, just drop the thumb and just be hot black guy.
Hot black. See, now that's how you think.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hot black guy.
That's a good one.
I think I would lose probably like 30% of my male audience. They'd be like, "Fuck this, dude." I'm like, follow some guy named Hot Black Guy,
Yeah,
and then you see like somebody passing by. Who are you watching? Oh, Hot Black Guy. Okay, maybe I'm gonna make another channel, just a fucking throwaway channel called Hot Black Guy. Thank you, Mama. Appreciate it.
Go.
All right, so
always looking out for you.
Hell yeah! So hey, yeah, I'm excited to see you when we do this thing. So we got a lot of I guess guys in the chat. If you guys have questions, about Kilroy, we're gonna be looking at them and we're gonna be throwing them out. But as while you guys are conjuring up your questions, I just want to say to Mama, how's everything been going as far as the event, everything, like say the good, the bad, and the ugly?
Well, for the most part, it's been awesome. I've been called a Nazi, a neo-Nazi, a white nationalist, and accused of creating a conspiracy regarding white genocide, which of course is hilarious because I'm not white, but it's cool, I guess.
I feel your pain.
Like, whatever, man.
That's just expected to happen.
We got some nice threats from the Acadian Times, which were turned over to the FBI and deemed credible threats because they tagged Antifa in it. So,
oh jeez,
good job, dummies.
That's
hey, don't make threats.
They want, man. Don't fucking if Antifa shows up, man. Don't
honestly.
Oh, come on, man! You know this is Arizona.
That's what I'm saying.
What happens when you show up here?
Sure.
No.
I would say my thing is, in general, like anybody that's like just an out there kind of like thing, everybody is just hijacking everything, meaning that's like there are people like I've lived everywhere. My dad was a Marine, so I've lived everywhere. There are people that are like, you know, principled conservative Republicans that like if you actually talk to them, you'll see what their stances are, and they're like they might as well be secular humanist. You have people that are like Democrats that are not insane socialist, but the most extreme, like 5% of every group gets all of the marketing leverage. And then the 95% of reasonable, lawfully good people get lumped in with the 5% of people that decide to hijack whatever the thing is that they just happen to identify with based on, by the way, arbitrary things, meaning that sometimes they're only in a political party because that's the political party of their dad or their grandparents. But if you actually talk to them on an issue by issue basis, the majority of people actually agree on the majority of things, which is why 98% of the country is lawful good. Most people are sane and reasonable, but all the media attention and circus goes to like the 5% of lunatics that just pick a brand and hijack a brand, because as somebody worked in advertising and marketing, that sells. So it's just
that's
insanity.
what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, that's up.
Well, we did.
Go ahead.
Oh no, I was gonna say we did reach out. We did an open participation call. Like, you know, come on, you know, if you're of the SJW stripe, like, please do come. And Steve Shives told us to go fuck ourselves.
Of course.
The one janitor said, "Nah."
Oh, you don't know Steve Shives is?
Like, yeah, I've never even heard of some of these people.
Dude, Steve Shives is a living meme. He is. If you go check out Steve Shives on Twitter right now, I guarantee you're blocked because he has a block bot of epic proportion. He has.
I haven't
everyone.
Talk about an echo chamber. I've been blocked by Steve Shives.
Oh yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
I've tried so hard. I want to talk to the guy, but you know.
See, one of my friends is
okay. I want to go ahead.
Sorry, you go. Okay, I was just gonna say one of my friends is a anti-SJW, and she's actually surprisingly not blocked by Steve Shives. It's like, what? That's
how is that even possible?
I know, right? How the hell is that possible?
Well, I like what Ranting Monkey called Steve Shives. He called him a basic bitch. He basically said, if you ever want to have something explained to you in the most basic way possible, look up to see if Steve has a video on it and just listen. And that's going to be the most basic way anybody can explain it to you. So Steve Shives is a basic bitch. I haven't made one video yet, not one. I'm debuting next year, and I'm already blocked by Steve Shives, and I have no idea why. I mostly post about fantasy football on my Twitter.
You're probably it's because who you're following, man. Oh, are you following any of us?
Yeah, I'm following you.
Exactly. That's all you need. That's it. That's the association will get you blocked. It's the association will get you blocked. That's how those bots work. Some of them are pretty good. Some of them are pretty good, and that's why he's completely unreasonable. He doesn't want to hear any shit, any type of dissent whatsoever. Wants to live in his little bubble. And it's just so funny to see how Steve Shives always fallen from grace, because he's somebody who I used to know back in the day as like, hey, this guy's a reasonable guy. Because I've been on YouTube, at least watching most of it since 2010. And watching people like Dark Matter 2525, The Amazing Atheist, Thunderfoot, a lot of stuff like that. The original skeptics, you know what I mean? And yeah, Steve Shives was one of those people. Like, if you look at him back in the day, he was a little bigger, a little freer, and then all of a sudden, and we're just speculating, right? Say that he met his feminist girlfriend, and then it just completely changed him. And that's
okay,
just
so you think that was the big.
It's a plausible theory. It's not 100% like, it's not written in stone. It's not like he said, oh, I've changed so much since I've been with my wife or whatever. but what's the reasoning behind it? And the thing is, though, the thing that I find a really bit strange is not only him. There are so many people, because I was like really deep into all this skeptic and atheist community shit, listening to these podcasts called The Scathing Atheist, Thomas and the Bible with Thomas Smith. Yeah, Thomas Smith. Listening to Cognitive Dissonance. All these ones, they're all skeptical as fuck. And at the same time, they all turned into Atheism Plus and started worshiping feminism. That was like their new deity. Yeah. It was just like, dude, all of these, why all of them? Like, I would understand maybe there'd be a few of them, but it's just all of these fucking people. Do you think that?
Well, so what I look at is I look at things. I love human psychology, and like from the marketing perspective, I've watched like you realize that marketing is just a polite term for social engineering, right?
Well, that makes sense though, because that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to talk you into buying their product. And
that's the thing. I'm glad you said it like that. They're trying to talk you into buying a product, because what I'm looking at is I'm always like, wait a minute, why is somebody doing something? Because it's interesting to debate people on things and their ideology. But when primary example is in the YouTube tech community, Android versus Apple. And people get really heated and passionate about it. But it's like, why is someone passionately defending a $1,000 purchase? Wait a minute, what does that mean to them? And what I've come to understand is that the way that the branding and marketing aspect of things work is that when you create an identity, there's nothing more powerful to a human being than their own name, their sense of self, their purpose, how they define themselves, what they see in the mirror. And if you start to construct and tie something about your brand or your acceptance to something desirable within their own sense of identity, that's how you start to manipulate people on a fundamental level, because then you become an IKEA person, you become a Toyota person, you become a Craftsman Tools person, you become a Democrat, a Republican, a conservative, a liberal, a Christian, a Muslim. Like, identity politics is more sinister than people think, because it is marketing by nature.
It's interesting you say that, Roberto, because like it almost makes me think that a solution to a lot of the problems we face with the division is finding like the magic pill to destroy that programming. Because like we have a lot of issues with like the Steve Shives in the world and everything, and nobody wants to come together because of what you just said. But if there was a way to use that against them in order to almost social engineer them back into talking, I think that would be like constructive as hell if we could figure out a way to do that.
You know what? Unfortunately, there's only one real answer for it. You'd have to redefine the way that information and education is consumed at the base level of public education. But the only way to make it to where it's clean, the only way for it to be meritocracy and not to be someone hijacking it for an ideology or a purpose or for business agenda, is it has to be AI driven, because AI is ultimate meritocracy and it doesn't care about ideology or gender from an education standpoint, because you see how like online education has democratized everything to where like people can become entrepreneurs, people can become YouTubers, podcasters, etc. How the internet access to information and tools and technology and costs going down has done that. AI is the natural evolution of that, because if everyone can learn at their own pace, and if the AI has the goal of teaching you knowledge and skills, and it's meritocracy and it does it on your terms without it being dictated curriculum by the top or where you live or what the government will or won't approve, then that becomes true meritocracy, because individual potential destroys subversive ideology for the sake of identity politics and for the sake of brand identity being attached to individual identity. Your own self-education and self-efficacy eliminates that, which at its core, minus political ideology infecting it, that's the core of what libertarianism is supposed to be. It's supposed to be about the elevation of the individual and about meritocracy.
That's definitely been co-opted. But really to bring it back though,
that's an understatement.
Oh yeah. But Base Mama, so far with the event, how many people do you have confirmed as speakers?
Oh gosh, I don't even know. I'd have to go look. We're adding people, like as people become more aware of it, we're actually able to get like bigger and bigger names. Like them big name people, they just come in when a thing is a thing. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
I would say, how about people that are like, say, very
Like well-known?
left? Like, I would say maybe not even well known, but like I would say I bet people are curious because of the people that are accusing it of being an echo chamber.
Yeah.
I would say, how many people on like, say, far left or far right or something have you gotten?
We've gotten a fair bit of centrists. We pretty much we're still talking to people to see, but we've like the only thing really that all of these people have in common is that they like free speech. Like that's pretty much it. There's actually people on this list that I'm like, oh, I hate that motherfucker. But you know.
That's actually a really good point, and I think that's what I think. There's a lot of people that just like to complain. I think it just feels good because of that whole echo chamber thing. I made a video about this, Base Mama, but my I explained in the video. No, I explained in the beginning that my computer fucked up, and long story short, I lost my audio, yada yada. But one thing I wanted to address was this whole echo chamber shit, because first of all, people know that are paying attention, that aren't brain dead. You know that like anyone's really welcome that really like wants to speak, that has a prominent voice, right? I would imagine that it would be great to have a diversity of thought. But when it comes to our genre,
well, that's kind of the whole point, man.
Yeah. But like the whole thing is like, but when it comes to like the genre and the type of stuff that we make, a lot of people on the very far left hate us. They think that we're a bunch of bullies and blah blah blah. Like you saw with Steve Shives and the one janitor and Kristen Winters, all those people say, like a lot of those people, what Thomas Smith thinks of Sargon, what those type of people, like I would love to talk to them. I would love to have them and have a conversation with them, but they don't want to talk to us, man.
You know what? I think part of it's the court of public opinion, because then what those people have to lose is part of their marketing and their branding if they feel that it by association to get framed a certain way. But if you can break the frame by doing something that doesn't have the public live audience to where you can feel more like they feel more comfortable. Like the best way is sometimes not even to debate someone, but if you can, you know what I would love to see sometimes is if these things were literally like steaks and beer and were recorded and were more intimate, you'd get the truth from people and you'd find out where the common ground is. Because if they have to pander to their audience, they're just going to pander to their audience.
You know, it's really funny you say that, because that makes me think about Red Pill Black and how it almost seems like she's doing it for the money, and because she knows there's more money in going with the right and the conservatives versus what she used to be doing.
Yeah, she's going to find more of an audience there than she is on the other side, and it really comes down to. I think I heard somebody say this during the.
Is there any money in this in the apocalypse anymore?
Well, during the last campaign, there was a gay Ted Cruz supporter who had his bed and breakfast boycotted when they found out that he was supporting him, and he said, "I've found way more acceptance among Republicans for being gay than I ever have around gays for being Republican." And I think that just kind of goes right around there. And I kind of feel the same way, because I'm Mexican. And I've been mostly conservative my whole life. As I've gotten older, I've gotten way more libertarian. Now everybody hates me. But
sorry.
I feel your pain, dude. I'm like a very staunch libertarian, and people are like, pick a side.
Pick a side,
right, well,
you fucking centrist.
Even
centrist
when I was younger, everybody I knew who was, at all liberal looked at me and always said, "How can you be a Republican when you're Mexican?" And I'm like, because this is what I believe, because I believe in limited government, low taxes, and I've lived in California most of my life, so of course I believe in low taxes. But anyway,
that'll do it.
That'd be nice.
That's really where I think it comes from, is that you find that if people like her, maybe, I guess, probably, actually, yeah, probably definitely, have found that there's more of an audience there than there is on the other side, because all of a sudden she's just one of 1,000 Steve Shives and Christy Winters, and over here she's
and they always put black women on that side on a pedestal, because they're like, look, we've got one. Look, we've got one.
Yeah, it's like their version of virtue signaling.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
there's a lot of people on the people that are a lot more hard right that try to use me as that, and sometimes I would come on their show and I would say things. Sorry, I'm drinking a little bit, and I would say things that wouldn't completely line up with them to kind of just let you know, like, yo, I'm a reasonable guy. I don't mind talking with you, but you're not going to use me as your fucking poster boy. You know, whenever I've had decent discussions with more prominent people that are very far right, but I'm just not like nodding and saying, yeah, conservative this, conservative that, because in all, like, I'm in the center. Like, I would say I'm actually more left of center than I am right when I think about, say, a lot of things that I believe in and certain values, because it's more of just like I would say I just don't really care. There's some certain things that there's issues that I would say I'm more liberal and more reasonable about. But say if I hear a good enough argument, I can be like, oh yeah, I agree with what you're saying. And I'm not just like, oh, my team is this, so I have to be like that. And
you'll find that most people of high intelligence are that. They're always open to hear conversation, hear another side, and be presented evidence, and will make an assertion based on that instead of an assertion that's rooted in an identity that they feel the need to cling to and to defend.
Absolutely. I want to show you guys something. I just made the other day. I just made this the other day because of you've been hearing a lot of in the politics, right? You've been hearing this.
Now I have to buy this,
dude. And so it's $20 right now, right? So it's just like there's been so much talk of people. Like, I remember even the needle drop. Anthony Fantano saying like, when the fuck did being a centrist become like almost like a slur, or people are just attacking like, hey, there's people in the middle, and like I said, the little tagline said for the unreasonably reasonable. You know, like say you're just so. Yeah. And I'm just like, yo. It's so ridiculous that there's some people that kind of want to just kind of be in the middle and then kind of hear out what people are saying and then kind of make up their mind from there. And I can't remember exactly what Chris Rock said, but he did a joke about this kind of. He said like a decent person isn't just one thing. And then he said like there's some things I'm conservative about and there's some things I'm liberal about. And he made a joke. I can't remember what he said he was conservative about. I can't remember. He's like, this I'm conservative about. And then he's like, prostitution, I'm liberal, you know? And he was just kind of like showing you like there's like little things here and there and it was just like a funny joke, just showing people like you probably want to like be a little more open-minded to certain things, and then you realize that if you are, like, say, even if you consider yourself conservative, there's some things that you probably are liberal about, but you just never really thought about. And I will say, because we were talking about Candace, we were talking about Red Pill Black a little while ago, and that was the one thing that kind of tripped me out about her, because I said it's totally possible, as playing devil's advocate, saying it was totally possible with her to have just switched kind of like overnight, as they say. It's totally possible for some people to do that. You know, just some people are very, you call them chameleons, right? They're just the
social chameleons.
Yeah, and that's just what they do. I know people that do stuff like that. But one thing that struck me as a little weird was something about, like, it was like, say, the whole pronoun issue, where there's things that, like, you know, I know people that can switch, but, you know, if she was very liberal before, I think it's kind of stupid to be, oh, I'm conservative now, so now I can't respect your pronouns because you're biologically male. You know, being conservative means I have to be this way. And I was thinking, like, well, no, it doesn't. It doesn't. Yeah. It just so happens that a lot of people that are conservative are the ones that more adhere to that type of thinking. But it's not just like something that you have to obey. Like,
do you think that people believe that, though? Do you think that people believe that if they subscribe to something, that there's then also an opt-in on behaviors and habits? Because we've had that in society before.
I think people do think that, but I think that they're misguided.
Because that's, you know, what people, when they become religious, what they do.
Yeah, and that's true. And I think that, and that's absolutely true. And this is kind of how, like, say, playing into, like, the whole of it being an ideal, being based on ideology. I always thought it was kind of weird that you don't have to completely throw out all, like, 100% of all the morals that you used to have just because now you subscribe to this one different thing. I think it's like, you know, I think that's where people get like, whoa, where's your conviction? And then people don't trust you. Or because now you're just so easily to switch everything. And I don't mean like, say, you know, I know people that have switched religions, but there's certain things that they still agree with. Like, I don't think like somebody that would say, oh, I used to be Christian, now I'm a Muslim. And I don't know people that say, oh, because Muhammad, you know, can diddle little girls, now I think it's cool now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think it's like stupid. There's some people that would go to that extreme to be like, oh, because it says this, I have to believe this now. And it's like, no, it doesn't work that way. It shouldn't work that way.
Yeah. It sounds like you're talking about like the preconceptions that come with that label.
Yes, and that's why that's what I think Candace did. I think Candace was like, you know, I'm more interested in these conservative values. How and because of that, like I would have been totally okay with calling you a she, Blair. But now that I'm conservative, I can no longer be okay with calling you a she. And
yeah,
I think
she had to be a bitch about it.
Yeah, I think that's stupid. I'm like, have to do that. Like, just how do you genuinely feel about it? If you don't care, then you don't care. But you don't have to be like, oh, I'm conservative now and I have a conservative audience. I have to do this.
Do you feel that might be rooted in people having a lack of individual identity and individual principles in the first place? Because, I mean, it even goes beyond, like what you were saying, even with the politics or the religion side. Think about it. There are things we see in the YouTube community that people think they have to be because they're a YouTuber, or ways they have to go out and buy or do this or do that because they say, oh, well, I'm a YouTuber. And you see it with other social media platforms that they take on an identity. People take on an identity for like anything.
Well, yeah, that's because we're social creatures. It's a part of human nature to do that. Yeah. You want to fit with the group.
Yeah, absolutely. But so we don't get too far away from Kilroy, I want to say there was a question in the chat, and some people are probably wondering about security. I was wondering about it. So they wanted to know, based Mama, is how security is going to work. Like, do you guys have planned out? Do you have booked on what type of security you're going to get, or is it going to be more towards like when it? Just tell me about the security. Is basically.
Oh, we contract with a private security firm, and then we also have volunteer security on site, and the police, both MCSO, the Maricopa County Sheriff's Office, and Phoenix PD have said that they will be there. So.
Well, that's awesome.
I bet a lot of them were probably dig this shit too. I bet a lot of them would be like, "Oh, it's cool," you know. Instead of it just being some fucking like furry convention or some shit, you know what I mean?
You know, it would be interesting, since it is a free speech convention, to actually engage with the security and police and ask them questions based on what they think, like what's going on with the discussions in the convention. Just to get their perspective.
That would actually be pretty cool. Well, we have press passes for people, because I know Gutenberg is wanting a press pass. I told him that's cool. So we're gonna try to make sure that, you know, we have people there that can cover it and go around and ask people questions if, you know, they want to answer. But it is a private event, so it's not public recording rules, you know.
Okay.
So be mindful of that.
That's probably that's probably a big thing you should let everybody know too, because I'm sure a lot of people are expecting like videos to come out, like what happened with the Sargon thing and the Anita Sarkeesian panel.
Oh, fuck that bitch. Anyway, yeah, that was. I hate her like on a fucking fundamental level. Well, Derek knows he was there. Who did we lose?
We lost Jesus, Ross.
Aw.
He'll probably
come back, Jesus. I need Jesus. Sorry.
All right.
Your last video though on both Anita and on Riley, I really like how you hammer home your points, because and I'll use that for both of them because Riley asked, they both just they run around the topics. They circle around them so badly, and you have such a good way of calling them out on the way they circle around it. So you know, I like the way you like your style in that in your rebuttals.
I appreciate that, man. One thing, and I like to say this, and I don't say it enough, that there's two things that I like to promote in my channel, because I'm not one of those higher intellectual people that can just completely mop the floor with somebody and then have all their sources and then they're completely dead in the water. But sometimes when it's important, I say I like to champion comedy, but I also like to champion a little bit of critical thinking. I want people to at least leave the video where at least maybe somebody said like, oh, I haven't thought about that. I didn't think about that. And I try to do that. And it's usually like, say, when sometimes a lot of these people are making their points, they'll bring up something that like, oh, I bet you never thought of this. And then I'll say, well, no, yes, I have thought of that. And then I'll say something to kind of back it up. Or I don't use sources a lot because I usually try to just come from a more common sense level. But when
that's what I respect about what you do, actually, more than people who want to beat me over the head with their regurgitated facts rather than formulating and coming to their own conclusion based on their life experience. Because
Agreed.
it becomes, your thing is more genuine. It comes across much more genuine and earnest in that way, versus people have a disconnect with someone and then it comes off condescending if their answer is, I'm going to beat you over the head with these facts from the highest level, smartest people in the world and not make that relatable or tangible to you in a meaningful way in your day-to-day life by any stretch of the imagination. And I'm going to call you intellectually inferior, and I'm going to make you try to feel bad or stupid because you don't have these facts, or because you didn't know this, or because you don't subscribe to it. That's not a way to actually help educate people. That's not a way to get anyone to listen.
You're right.
Well, see,
you're right.
There's a way to do that, though, and I would consider that like almost like the Bill Nye effect, because like Bill Nye will explain in all the kids shows, the Science Guy shows, he would basically explain a really complicated or complex like scientific principle, but make it accessible to the everyday person. And like if you can find a way to do that, it's great, but not everybody is capable of it. Yeah,
and I will say, and I'm gonna be honest, because like exactly what you were talking about, Roberto, I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's something that there's a lot of people like say there's two problems. There's two problems in what they call the skeptic community, right? There's two problems going around. One of them is saying that there's people that aren't academic enough, and then there's other people that are saying that they're too fucking academic. There's two different sides, and I see both of the issues because I can kind of mess with both of them. There's the people, the higher intellectuals that will throw facts in your face, and they're very condescending. I can still be like, I still like that stuff. But a lot of those people, they're not very good at social.
But I also know that has a threshold of not being effective.
Yeah, because I said they're not very good at socializing. And I can say this, like even Tom, I don't know if my brother watches my stuff, but my brother, he's a statistician. And there's people that are statisticians that I watch too, and they're the fucking same, and it freaks me out because I was like, wow, you guys, I don't know, you guys are so involved and just balls deep in your numbers and talking about the statistics and everything like that a lot of times it's hard for them to connect with the audience, and sometimes they feel, sometimes they do, it seems like they'll talk amongst each other, the type of their colleagues and their peers, and they'll kind of be a little snobbish. And I think I'm like it's a kind of a bad way to go about certain things. And I will like say sometimes I'll stay in my lane. I once was in a Skype call, or not a Skype call. I was in a hangout with Sargon of Akkad, Dr. Lehman, all these fucking really smart people, right? And they were talking about some really old like I don't know 5th century art. They were talking about this stuff that I wasn't really savvy about. And so I was just sitting back and listening, and I was taking notes, actually thinking so I can learn some shit. And I wasn't pretending like, oh, I'm going to chime in and know what the fuck I'm like. I don't know I didn't know what they were talking about exactly. But it was one of those things where I'm like, wow, there's probably a lot of people that are fooling them. They're trying to like act like they know what the fuck's going on, but they probably don't. But it was a time for me to just sit back and learn. And that's how I kind of treat some content where some people that have some really high shit and they're very just stuck on their sources. And even if you're talking about something that's common sense, they won't respect you if you don't have sources. Or I'm like, well, did I need sources? Did I need sources for certain issues? For certain issues, I'm like, do I need sources to say that the Earth is not flat? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's common sense. Yeah.
Like prove that Earth's not flat. Prove that gravity.
Some of Sir Six videos. Some of those guys need evidence that the Earth isn't flat.
Oh yeah, if you have
the one guy who said you'd fly upside down if you flew from the North Pole to the South Pole, I laughed for half an hour. And I was at my cube at work.
So certain things like that, they say extraordinary claims, requires extraordinary evidence, right? That's just how it goes. Like we don't have the burden of proof on our side because we're like, okay, it's obviously round. You guys are the ones that need the proof. And then everything that I've seen, I just looked at, Facebook has those memory things. You go back and you can see what you posted a year ago or 2 years ago. So I saw one from 2015 when I first started getting into the whole flat Earth stuff. 2 years ago, I was like fried. I was saying I'm genuinely trying to understand what these people are, what they believe and what they're trying to say. And it was so hard watching certain things and watching them debunk themselves in their own documentaries, which I didn't understand. I was genuinely like, I don't understand how you could believe this. I want to understand it. How, and I can't. My brain wouldn't allow me to do it. And I still haven't seen anything. And I've seen it, the movement only grow. It's grown. And there's Facebook, man. I don't want to get too far into it. I'm sorry. We're way too far. Let's get back on the subject of Kilroy. There's something I wanted to say. Do you guys know who Vadim is? He runs a YouTube channel called Creationist Cat. Do you guys know who?
Yeah.
Okay. So
he's been on the Drunken Peasants a couple times.
Okay. Yeah. And he's one of those guys that I'm actually kind of cool with him. Like he doesn't really say a bunch of shit to me, but I know he can be kind of kind of addicted to other people. But why I was asking, because he wanted to, I think he wanted to come on and he wanted to ask some questions, Mama, because he's one of the people that you would, that I think you would, like say he's very left leaning, so I think he might be asking.
The Dean is invited. I invited him.
I would love if the Dean came. I actually did a video with him too. It was pretty. I don't dislike the guy. I'm definitely. I know there's a lot of people that don't like him, and that's totally fine. Like I'm not one of those people that you can like or dislike people. We can be cool. We don't have to all be in the same sort. Like, oh, you can't like this guy because I don't like him. I'm like, oh, suck my dick. Just suck my dick. That's my answer to a lot of things.
I mean, like his idea of creationist cat though, you get like he definitely brought in a bunch of viewers because of how creative that was. That was a really good idea.
It was, and it was. Oh yeah. He was actually he was a part of one of the people in like say the original, like I said, the
atheism booth.
Yeah, that whole thing. And so here, I'm gonna send him I'm gonna see if he shows up. I'm gonna send him a link and see if he shows up, and then we can try to stay more on subject of Kilroy because it's so easy.
I want to ask something about Kilroy. Are you guys gonna do a panel on the net neutrality stuff?
We didn't have one planned, but I think it's kind of a necessity to talk about it now. Here's the thing, though: you'd have to find somebody like the way the panels are structured is around free speech and free expression, like basically your First Amendment. So you have one person who is, for restriction in a certain area, one person who's against, one person who's undecided, and a moderator. Like the whole point is to get
right now
pros and cons of it. Right. So like, okay, we want to have a panel on net neutrality. Now let's find somebody who's actually for it.
Can you break the frame on that and maybe use that as just okay, if nothing else today, we've done debates. Here's the thing we all probably agree on.
Yeah, we actually have a board of directors who votes on panel subjects and stuff like that. So if you want to do a panel on something, that's fine. If it's something this is probably something that we could break the structure for because it's an important issue to everybody, and I don't think like your regular normie folks really understand what net neutrality means, and so they're like, oh, it's a big deal, So I think it's probably one of those things that's sort of important. I know. Oh, I wanted to tell you, Reese is coming, so I'm pretty psyched about that. I love Reese.
Who?
Nightmare Fuel.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. See that? Yeah. I'm like,
so he's you gotta give me them. Well, we've got a place. Is there a place for religion today? Panel. So he's going to be taking the opposition, the anti-religionist.
That's an interesting. That's a very interesting topic. I like that. That's a pretty good topic. I like that.
There's some widely different views on that too.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Really quick too, based. You were talking about how a lot of people don't understand net neutrality. If you actually type in, I can't remember the name of the guy that made the bill that's trying to pass to get rid of it. But if you type in his name, one of the top searches on Google is
Pajai or something. Yeah.
Yeah. One of the top searches is a document put out by the FCC. Basically, it goes over the major details of the bill and what it's trying to get rid of and what it'll change. So if anybody's interested, just go ahead and look up that senator's name and then the net neutrality after his name.
I think that with things like these bills for things like net neutrality, this is where marketing becomes again, social engineering for the masses. Cause by naming something net neutrality, which means nothing to no one, if you had called it the Freedom Internet Act, that would be common sense to everybody. Or the Free Internet Act, everyone would be like, yup. And that would be it. By calling it net neutrality, it's purposefully vague and too complicated, too long, didn't read. It's it's sinister how often that happens.
Well, that's the way politics are, though. They always do that.
Oh yeah, it kind of reminds me of say the Patriot Act versus the National Defense Authorization Act. You know what I mean? It's the same thing, but they both sound completely fucking different. You know what I mean?
Marketing. I think the guy you're talking about is Brian Schatz from Hawaii, which is odd since we were talking about Steve Shives. But anyway, there you go, Brian Schatz.
I'm sorry, I can't help but laugh here.
Actually, that it would come out of Hawaii because Hawaii is where the internet came from.
You're thinking what I'm thinking, aren't you, Derek?
Yes, I can't stop laughing because of it.
The Patriot Act.
Dude, you have an awesome fucking voice, dude.
I swear to God, it's so great.
Podcast.
Thank you all very much. I am not Alex Jones. I believe in bootleg.
You just made it worse.
Oh, this is so great.
Show your face.
Hang on. There you go. I am not Alex Jones.
Oh, all right. I guess.
Can prove it.
I guess. All right. I guess I believe you now. Shit.
Brown.
Oh, hey, Mama. How are they? Another question with Kilroy. How are they? Because I'm honestly kind of confused with what's going on. What panels are available? I don't know if there's because I don't know if.
Well, we left about. We do have like some situated panels. Like we have a panel called Fake News, Fair Reporting, and Activism in Media. Like when you're reporting on something, where are you crossing the line on that? When does it become activism?
You can look up like a list of the panels right now?
It's provisional right now because what we did is we left about a third of the space open specifically for SJW types to like say, I want to talk about this, and and these are the people I would want to talk to about it, So we intentionally left space to like accommodate this, which just makes it even funnier that they won't show up. We've got a provisional list and we're adding as we go. Like the Place for Religion was an add-in. Hang on, I can read you the list that we have if you want. I mean, it'll keep growing as we go.
It'd be nice for like those interested that are watching to hear some of it.
We have the fake news, the online censorship and free speech and social media. That's the one that Andrew Torba is going to be talking on because he's the founder of Gab AI. They got like shit canned hard by the Apple Store. I like Gab. I like the user interface on it a lot better than I like Twitter. It doesn't crash as much, which is nice too. But we have let me see, free speech and education and academia. And we've got that one's just like basically all academics talking about free speech restriction and how much is too much in academic circles and stuff like that. Excuse me. We've got free speech restriction abroad. That's what Count Dankula is coming to talk about. Also, tailed feature. They're going to be talking about the laws in Scotland that allowed him to be arrested for the Nazi pug thing.
Yeah.
And we have a young creators chat, which is where some black guy comes in. He's moderating that.
How young do you have to be defined to be young?
Under 30.
Ah, damn it.
I'm out.
Sorry, Mr. Mark, man. And then we have Islam and the West, the importance of diversity of opinion, and like I said, we're adding them. Anti-social media is like social media making us more antisocial. You see, free speech and immigration, like speaking up if you're here illegally. Like what are the ramifications of you speaking up and practicing your right as an immigrant or as an illegal immigrant or whatever. And then we've got LGBT voices of dissent, where it's basically just going to talk about issues that LGBT people face and where they feel like they're restricted in their speech and stuff like that. And then we have like several keynote speakers and spaces for that open, but we're still open to panels. Like I said, you gotta have somebody for, somebody against, somebody in the middle, and a moderator.
Yeah, the more I hear about this, the more I want to go.
If we can build out a panel around you, like I'm so happy to do that. It's a matter of being able to build it around that idea. Because like you said, the thing with net neutrality, like, okay, now we have to find somebody who is for restricting it, and that's going to be hard to do.
Right.
Invite one of the paid off politicians that's for it.
That's all you. Yeah, exactly. All right. So Vadim just showed up right now. What's going on, man?
Hey, what's going on? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're coming in good.
Cool. By the way, you just mentioned someone who is anti-net neutrality. I think Mr. Dapperton, I don't know if you're familiar with him, but I'm pretty sure that he is, because he just sent me a video. I posted something, about net neutrality, and he sent me a video. I started watching it, and I have to look up more before I can really say. I kind of looked at it and thought, like, okay, this is bullshit. If you want someone who represents that side, maybe go to him.
Yeah, I'll write him down. Thank you.
Sure. So yeah, if you guys are wrapping things up, there was something I kind of, a couple things I wanted to throw out there. I don't know if that's cool.
Yeah, go ahead, man. Yeah, because I didn't want to go on for too long, but I would say like no longer than 20 minutes. You know what I'm saying?
One second before you go. Or for anti-net neutrality and people like Mr. Dapper Dan, I think you're going to find that they think that the answer to government problems is not more government, because the reason why cable companies, satellite companies, those guys have such sweetheart deals when it comes to the net, when it comes to everything else, is because they get to lay their infrastructure uncompetitively because local municipalities cut them sweetheart deals based on something called a franchise fee. And all that basically is a tax they pass on to the consumer on their bill. If any of you have cable, you've probably seen franchise fee or peg fee or any of those kinds of fees. Well, the more a provider is willing to pony up to the local municipality, the more the local municipality is willing to cut them a sweetheart deal to basically let them lay their infrastructure uncompetitively and treat them like a utility, even though they're not regulated like a utility. I won't tell you how I know that, but you can probably figure it out.
Right. I think I understand. And one more thing that I'm going to chime in with that is, like, you'll find on that side of the people who are anti-net neutrality is that, just like he was saying, it's because they're philosophically against regulation, which I understand as an entrepreneur. The problem is, as a self-made entrepreneur, I understand a fundamental truth I think escapes most people. The boogeyman isn't the government. The corporations have already bought the government. So who's the actual boogeyman? Money is power. Gold, the golden rule. Who has the gold? Who has the money? It ain't the government. They only got our money. We're taxpayers. It ain't that much.
You don't sound like Alex Jones right now.
That's because I'm not.
Yeah.
Anyways, Vadim, what's up?
Sure. I had a couple things to say. First of all, this isn't like really what I came on to say, but somebody did send me a video that Based Mama made either yesterday or the day before. I didn't have the chance to watch the whole thing, but I just wanted to throw out there that I'm really sorry if, like, people have like sent like violent threats your way or anything like that. I think that's like total bullshit, and I'm just like I think people should fucking not do that shit. It sucks. So, but I wanted to, what I really wanted to say was this. There has been like a little bit of discussion of kind of like echo chambers, and certain people have said certain things about it, and like I wanted to, because I kind of did say a few things about this, but I want to say a couple things. One is that I think it's extremely difficult to create events like this without kind of doing that to some degree to begin with. I mean, at least if I think it's very challenging to create something like that that's going to appeal to both sides. It's going to bring both sides in. So I personally, when I mentioned it, it was never really kind of like, kind of dissing you guys for that. But the other thing that I wanted to say is that, like, because again, I expressed a little bit of dissatisfaction. What really I had a problem with was there are some people who have kind of, kind of discussed the event, who are a part of the event, who have basically said, like, hey, if you guys don't want this to be an echo chamber, then come to this event. And
so you're talking about like the burying tweet and stuff like that?
Well, I guess I didn't know Baring talked about it. I know June did, and I kind of responded to it, and then I kind of responded to a bunch of people who aren't going to be speakers, but all of whom kind of agreed with that sentiment. And I think that like really my only problem with kind of the situation, because like again, like I think it's fine, like if you guys create an event, you should be able to kind of like fill it with the people that you want. But it's just I just kind of felt like it's unfair to put that to throw that blame onto the people who may not want to come for decent reasons. You know, I mean, there's some people who aren't going to come because they're not the kind of people who challenge themselves and talk with like the other side, and those people I think maybe you could kind of blame for fostering some sort of like echo chamber type thing. But there are other people who, you know, like myself, I'd very much like to go, yet at the same time, like I may not, because like the combination of the cost to get out there and the benefit of being there may not be like great enough. And I don't know, I guess maybe I'll throw what I've said out to everybody else and just see like, you know, what you guys think of what I'm saying, or do you guys understand what I'm saying? Like,
well, actually, like I'm not like, this is my first time talking to you, and I'm not trying to like be mean or anything, but it almost seemed like you kind of like, what was the point there? Were you trying to say that, like, I'm just trying to simplify this. Were you trying to say people were being mean, like by saying like the echo chamber stuff?
I think that it is like people were actually trying to lay blame on people who do not want to come to this event to like represent the quote unquote other side. And there were several people who said like, you guys are going to be the ones who make this an echo chamber by not coming. And I kind of think that I don't think that laying that sort of blame is really like.
Well, Vadim, let me throw this your way. So from what I've seen, the people that were putting it together, the people that were excited to go, and people that were invited, nobody said anything about an echo chamber or mentioned it whatsoever until a lot of those people, a lot of the people that are more a lot more left leaning and progressive, were complaining about that. And I think that that's why people got defensive, because in my point of view, if I were like say a progressive person and I saw that event and I'm like, I don't have any interest in going, I also wouldn't be one of the people saying, oh, look at that fucking echo chamber thing, because like, oh, well, no shit, I mean, I'm not going to go. So of course it's going to be a lot of people that more agree with each other than not. So why would I even say, why would I even complain about that? Like, why would I even say anything?
I mean, I think that there's a couple reasons to complain about it or to point it out.
Well, why?
Because,
I would like to know.
Because if something is kind of kind of purporting to be a free speech event, there's something implied there that like, you're going to get like a really like, a wide range of like, points of view.
Yeah.
And I think that there, like, for me personally, what made me like, I mean, because again, like, I think it's fine to kind of like create an event, invite the people that you want, but what kind of like,
well, see, hold on, I got to stop you there, because it's not inviting the people that you want, because correct me if I'm wrong, Base Mama, but wasn't this event open to anybody that wanted to come?
It's literally wide open.
Yeah, so it's not.
I think it was a featured speakers list. To hang on one second. I think it was a featured speakers list because those were the people who, like the very beginning, like when we had no structure, no plan, we're just like, hey, we got this idea to do this thing. We can't pay her or nothing. You got to do this out of your pocket because we broke.
That'll.
The first people that were like, sure, I would love to talk to somebody from the other side of my ideology or my preconceptions, and and like hear their voice. And that, like, I laid it out flat from the beginning. Like, this is not going to be you sitting there talking and everybody going, because we're not about that.
Well, and see, I think that's a very important point to make, Vidim, is it wasn't an event designed to just be like, hey, we're just going, nobody was inviting anybody specifically, and it was open to everybody, to where I think it's a little dishonest to say, to frame it that way, almost as if it's your echo chamber. And I'm not saying you're doing it, but other people like have been doing that.
Vadim, let me jump in real quick.
Hold on. Let Vadim respond to that first.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. I was going to say, at the time that the fundraising video was put out there, and that's the point that the majority of people found out about this thing, at least the majority of the people I know who would have been good candidates to go there and kind of represent the other side. When the video went up, there were 27 people, and out of those 27 people, I'd say nearly every single one of those people, arguably 2 to 3 max fit a very specific mold. And like I don't really think that there was any like sort of like insidious plan here. Like, like they really kind of thought of what was the best way to go about things. But if they really wanted to ensure that they had a broader range of people, I think the successful strategy would have been to make sure that they had, or at least try and make sure, reach out to maybe 4 or 5 people, at least I think would have been a decent amount, to like, to ensure those people at that point. But when they put out that video, like when the major fundraising material is out there, and people now see that there is like 27 people who like kind of fit into the anti-SJW, anti-feminist mold, like a lot of people are going to be kind of like feel like intimidated,
like threatened almost.
Yeah, I mean, I
would feel threatened. Oh, come on with that. You know what? Get in here. You want to talk? You want to defend your position? You want to have your voice heard? Get in here. Here's your opportunity to come face to face with Sargon and tell him what a fucking piece of shit you think he is. That's the point. Is you want to have these conversations, you want people to hear you, like, here's the chance. Sit down, talk.
And I think there are a lot of people who are too afraid to have those conversations. They don't want to be challenged.
Well, if you're too afraid to have those conversations, exactly, then that just means you don't want to be challenged.
We talked about it before, Anita. You think McIntosh tells her to go out there and be challenged? No, he tells her to go out there and preach to the choir. And unfortunately, she has a really large choir. And I know a lot of them.
Let me play a devil's advocate real quick, though. The only thing that I can see, look at from one of the reasons why I think I was able to talk to some pretty far left-leaning people at VidCon, like say Ashley Hardell, for example, mainly because it was kind of a neutral. I mean, of course, the whole thing is put together more, but it was a neutral setting. There was people from all over, a bunch of different ideals, and mostly vloggers and streamers and all that bullshit were there. But there was just people all over the place, and we were able to run into each other and be like, "Hey, let's have a conversation," and it was pretty cool.
And you all care about YouTube. So.
Yeah, and so I think we're shit. Oh,
hey,
he's
did we lose him?
Okay, no,
sorry, guys.
All right. But I think with this, and this is like just me playing devil's advocate. What I'm seeing is, since the people that started it, the Base Mama and like Dave Cullen, for example, since there's people that are very progressive that see you guys as you said you've been called a Nazi. Of course, Dave Cullen's been called a Nazi. Obviously, these are the type of people that they don't feel comfortable in that setting, and maybe if this Kilroy event would have been set up with initially with some of those, somebody progressive, like, oh, not only is it Base Mama and Dave Cullen, but it's also, I'm just saying, just for ContraPoints is setting this up too. They would feel more welcome or something. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, Sister Danger is on there, but like nobody knows who she is because she's like me. She's got a really small channel, but she's very, very, very left leaning.
Okay.
And I'm I'm actually really kind of in the middle. I'm an issue by issue person, and then Dave is clearly a conservative. So like even our main planning board is the exact same setup as our panel.
Yeah,
like
and
everything. This got called Dave's event, and that that annoyed me because it paints it in the wrong light. This is not
Marketing.
at the end of the day, this is my shit.
Yeah, and that's
Like,
one thing
I'm the one running this bitch.
Yeah,
base mama.
it's all good, and it's something that it's something that I've talked about a lot, and I talk about a lot with some of my friends. That it would be nice because one thing that I wanted, one of the main reasons why I even started making videos, I just wanted people to chill out, right? I wanted people to just kind of calm down, and I think something like this, people kind of getting together and talking, it would be one of those things where people calm down. I think it was why. I think I was when I was talking to, like, say, Ash Hardell, for example, where she realized that I'm not the scum of the earth. Like, just realizing that, oh yeah, we do have some common ground on certain things. Now there are some things that are a little extreme to me, and then vice versa, and that's it. It doesn't mean that we can't be cool. And I have like a friend. I have a friend that's as progressive as it gets. That literally, I think that if Bernie Sanders asked him to suck him off, he would. Like, that's all I think. Like, I think he's like that progressive. But we're cool. We still, every once in a while, we would get together, get some barbecue or something like that. We can talk, and we find common ground in certain things. So we still like the same type of music. We still like the same type of video games and all this stuff. And I think it's one of those things that I would love. I would love it. Like, I genuinely, and I say this, and I don't say this in a meme-ish way or anything. Like, I genuinely want to talk to Steve Shives. I want to talk to the guy. I want to talk to him and
understand him a little bit more.
Exactly. Like, I want to talk. I've never made a video about him because it's just so, like, out there. I'm like, I get it. I get the stuff that I say. Like, I don't like. And then there's people that do a great job with it. But it's kind of like Riley Dennis. I only made one video about Riley because it was that whole advocating Antifa that I kind of like. It was just that. But other than that, I've never made a video about Riley because some of it is just something I get it. But there's certain people like, say, Steve. I don't get it. I want to talk to him and I want to understand him, and it would be awesome. Like, say, I'm kind of afraid even that, and I mean afraid that I wouldn't be able to meet him. Maybe he won't go because, like, there's the atheist conference that's going on, and I know he's going to speak there, and I want to go.
I think the chances of Steve talking to you are close to zilch.
Like,
I mean,
right, and I find that so unfortunate, though.
Yeah,
well,
no, I just too. I wish he was more willing to have dialogues. I don't know what if anybody like knows, kind of like is that familiar with like my work, but I'm kind of like, I don't know. I mean, I'm not like a total like I don't know. I'm not really like very much like Steve Shives. In fact,
yeah, sure.
I like
you don't try and pick a side, basically, right?
No, and you're able, and something that I do appreciate with you, Vadim, you follow a lot of people that that people wouldn't dare, that are already blocked or they wouldn't dare even associate with. Like, I see you having back and forths with people that I follow. And yeah. I appreciate it, even if you don't agree, because I don't give a shit. I don't need Vadim to agree with what Shoe on Head is saying or whatever. I just like that they're even talking in the first place. Yeah. Where I'm like, even if I may disagree with whatever the hell is going on, I'm just like, hey, that's cool. That's what normal human beings can do. They can talk.
Well, honestly, I'm kind of like in this precarious spot where kind of like there are a lot of people on both sides, if you want to call it that, of the SJW, anti-SJW kind of coin that just won't have me, because I piss both sides off.
Moderates are homeless,
and I'm also, yeah. I mean, like, I will say, like, I'm basically one of these people that, like, I hate the warriorism in social justice warrior. Like, I like people who complain over stupid shit and don't really have their facts straight and kind of like are trying to morally grandstand. I fucking hate that.
They're ideologues.
But at the same time, like, there are elements of social justice. I mean, I'm for social justice, so it's like, I just don't consider myself a social justice warrior. I'm sure there are assholes out there that do, but they're assholes.
Yeah. It gets down to everybody's for social justice. Everybody wants social justice. Everybody's for a cleaner environment. We're not necessarily for choking environmental regulations that ship jobs to China or, in our case, to any other state or bust. But that's where people can't draw the line. And like Steve Shives, like Anita, like all them, they can't draw the line at cost benefit. Sure, we want to make sure the air is clean, but if this new clean air regulation if it doesn't clean the air, and all it does is tax corporations, so they ship jobs to Nevada and to Oregon and to New Mexico and to Jamaica and to anywhere but California. Where does that benefit anybody? It doesn't, and they just can't grasp that because they're so dyed in the wool in the environment and making things better, and this is going to make everything better.
Yeah,
well, actually, it didn't make anything better.
I want to let me like bring that. Let me just like bring that back just a little bit, because I think it is really important, and it's something that I actually had a conversation with just one of my followers like over a year ago when I made a meme, and I didn't really differentiate between social justice and social justice warrior, because it is important to say that social justice on just by itself is not a bad thing. I mean, you even think about, say, civil rights, the civil rights movement, that's social justice. Nothing wrong with that. It's just like, it's the social justice warrior, like you said, the warrior part. And I think that's something that people need to understand. Like, say, when you hear social justice, you want to automatically roll your eyes, because that's something that people do. It's something that people do because they just hear that part and like, oh God. But like, they might be talking about something genuine. But yeah, the warrior aspect is people like, say, the people like Steve Shives or Anita Sarkeesian, to the point where like Anita Sarkeesian had an issue with Boogie 2988.
Oh God, I was there.
One of the most genuine people that I've met, and they just such a great guy. And it's just like they're taking it so far, and that's the type of stuff. That's the stuff right there that I want just to chill out. And I would love it. I would genuinely love it. Even though I don't like Anita Sarkeesian, I could be in the same room as her and have a conversation with her and understand, and maybe there'd be a possibility that I can just calm her down a little bit and hopefully maybe say, I didn't see things that way before, and I might even say the same thing to her, which I doubt it, but there's just like, I'm just trying to like, I genuinely mean this, that if we can get to a point where it's more like, say, people are more kind of in the center and people are more just kind of like trying to figure things out, I think it would be so great.
Well, I gotta go. So I need to end this with this, but I think that, and it's ironic because she peddles herself as an atheist. She's gotten to the point where she is basically that Houston preacher who didn't help anybody during the floods. She is the mega church preacher, and she is preaching all the feminist
Joel
dogma
Austin or something.
Something like that. But she's preaching the current feminist dogma from the pulpit, and she can't deviate from the dogma. Otherwise, half her audience goes away. She's basically the feminist Rush Limbaugh.
That's a good point.
Fair. All right. Alex Jones, it was good you see.
I am not Alex Jones. I believe in the moon landing.
I know. I just your voice, man. Your voice is just fucking great. It's just great.
I love that voice. It's a voice.
You should have
I swear.
Have a channel. Not Alex Jones.
Derek, something I wanted to ask you is, like, you talked about like wanting people to chill out and get together, and like it starts to make me think that events like Base Bomb, and this is something to think about, is like that if you want people from both sides to get together, like as an event marketer, as someone who's a public like speaker, I go to like conferences and I speak at like these marketing events. The thing that they do often very well is that they create a situation environment where people can, like, if you're selling a product, which when you're selling an event, you're selling a product. The marketing, unfortunately, has to be geared toward, and it sucks when it's something like, free speech, because then you want to go very like raw and very straightforward. But there's a marketing angle to selling an event that's billed as people coming together. There's a responsibility then to make anybody and everybody feel comfortable and feel like it's a neutral place, like we talked about, like the beer and steak thing. And if there's anything in the marketing that creates a barrier to sales, an objection to, do I feel comfortable? Do I feel safe? Even from a security standpoint, like there are YouTubers, for example, that went to VidCon that didn't do the whole featured creator thing and literally caused a security nightmare. Like, those are problematic logistical things. And there are people who told me flat out they don't want to go to VidCon because of the circus. VidCon had a failure to make people feel like they'll be safe in certain aspects in that regard. And then there are people who will legitimately ask, is it even worth it to go to VidCon anymore? And VidCon sometimes doesn't do a good job of making people feel like it's not, on some level, that there's aspects of it that aren't propaganda. So they're doing a bad job on the marketing on that side. And so events have to, if they want to cultivate a certain audience and they want to sell tickets to the largest swath of people, they have to create in the marketing a sense of a level of comfort to buy. Because, like, I mean, that's how you don't become an Android or Apple person.
No, you're right. Let me stop there real quick. It just because of I agree with what you're saying, and I think it's something more on the lines of like Politicon. Politicon is something that, I mean, you had just people that are very, very opposite of each other. I mean, come on. I don't know if anyone saw Ben Shapiro versus Cenk Uygur.
Yeah,
and like that, and it was. To me, like, I'm one of those people, like, Cenk to me is kind of like Alex Jones. I don't mean in the same, like, they're the same, but they're both, like, kind of radical in their own respect. Types. Yeah, their personalities are very radical. Vibrant. Yes. And it's somebody that I still watch some of his shit because he's funny. I like how he carries himself. Anyway,
I like his Game of Thrones reviews.
Oh, okay, there you go. There you go. It's something in that environment, though. Politicon was one of those things that it was. Now it's not completely neutral, but you still had, like, say, people that, and I hope that, say, Kilroy could be, and obviously they want it to be like annual, so it can be one of those things where it grows and it kind of turns into something like that, to where it's about free speech, right? But we can have those prominent people on the right and left, and people in the center that all kind of come together, and we can have those debates and those discussions, and maybe some people can leave learning something, right? And people can be like, you know, this was actually really good. And I genuinely think that, like, maybe say the first Kilroy may not be ideal for some people. Obviously, to me, since a lot of the people that are going are people that I'm pretty good friends with, and I'm excited to see a lot of people that I saw at VidCon. So I'm gonna have a great time regardless. And I'm hoping that, say, other people like, say, Vadim, I hope that you'll be able to show up. Maybe not this year. If you can, you can show up maybe next year. Kind of like VidCon. VidCon, this was the first VidCon I ever went to. And now I'm like, I'm going to go to VidCon all the time.
I'm going to see you there next year, man.
Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. And maybe it can be something like that, where if maybe it'll turn out, maybe a lot of people that are a lot more left and progressive, maybe they don't want to show up this time. But maybe if this thing goes off really well and they see that people that on the left were treated with respect or something like that, maybe it goes really well, then maybe they'll feel comfortable coming next year. You know, maybe not this year, but maybe next year. And that would be, that's a huge win. That would be a huge win.
I'd say, I mean, you guys probably already have, I'm sure you have, but you know, if you were to snag one or two prominent people, then you might have an easier time getting more. You know, I think your best shot might be Destiny. Like he seemed pretty into it, and I'm still, you know, I've had a couple of people like approach me saying that like they would help me crowdsource it.
Yeah.
And you know, I mean, ideally I'd like to do it. It's just I do want to go to VidCon this year. I might have to buy some equipment. I might have to rely on crowdsourcing for that stuff.
Don't be making excuses.
All right,
show up. Skippo already told me that you're cool stuff to hang out with, and so now it's like, just show up. Just show up, man.
Well, hey, if you got a crowd
thing though,
I would love to fucking go though, because there are some things like, I don't know. I mean, like for instance, I know you guys are talking about like fake news, and you've got Luke Radowski, who is a 9/11 truther who spread like a lot of horse shit over the course of his career.
Oh, fuck, really?
Get it? Get the trip sponsored.
You've got Brittany Pettibone.
I didn't know. I'm way not a 9/11 truther, like at all.
I mean, it doesn't matter though. I like the fact that he's there though. You know, like. It's one of those like, and then now you get to talk to him and say, "Hey,
dude, Richard Spencer said he would go."
Yep. Yeah, actually,
that would be a good
listen, dude.
Okay,
listen to me, okay?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
You could come, but I can't hire enough security to keep like every attendee there from trying to beat the shit out of him. Okay, like it's not gonna happen.
That's a little. I mean, like, I don't mind. Like, I don't mind having a conversation with him. Like, I even had I talked about that. Said I want to have a conversation. I want to understand people like him, but at the same time, someone like Richard Spencer, I've seen enough of his interviews and people that have already talked to him. And for him, I can't get out of my head that he called the Constitution faggy, and it just kind of like made me like,
fuck that motherfucker.
I was like, I can't really take this guy seriously, just saying stupid shit like that, and not just he's just too memeish. Or I was like,
there's honestly at this point, business wise, I'd say there's some people that they're just a walking bomb. Like business wise, as far as if you do an event, you do a whatever, they're just bad for you. There's like people that you can't interview them because you'll get doxxed. That's just reality. It's unfortunate, but like the world we live in now is there's some people that are just so
I wish.
So polarizing that they're like a financial disaster or a security disaster waiting to happen. And like they're gonna get themselves to a point to where they're just on a ban list, and it's unfortunate because that shouldn't suppress what they have to say, but they're a liability.
Well, we saw that happen with VidCon too, with the Anita Sarkeesian panel.
No,
she caused them so much of a hassle.
Yeah,
true. Yeah. But Jake Paul was the worst thing that happened to VidCon.
Hey, Mom,
no, wait, it wasn't Jake. It was Logan. Logan.
Oh yeah, Logan.
I don't know.
Yeah,
whatever.
Same fucking people. But Mama, have you talked to Tommy Sotomayor? He's in Phoenix. And Razor Fist.
Like,
Razor Fist and Tommy Sotomayor in Phoenix. Oh fuck yeah, dude! I love
he lives here.
But
it was like there was such a high demand for him and Styx Hexenhammer to get in the same room to prove that they're not the same person.
They're the same fucking people. Like he just literally has two channels.
Like, this is a fucking YouTube conspiracy theory.
I love it. I love that so much.
But how do you spell his name?
Who?
I'm gonna guess, and I'll try to find him.
Styx,
I'm not super huge. Yeah.
Okay, so Tommy, okay, Soto Mayor, like it's Soto and then Mayor. Tommy Sotomayor, he's actually, he's pretty he's not controversial, but he is. You hear some of the stuff he has to say. I would say if you're interested, look at the interview he did on Dave Rubin on the Rubin Report, and then you'll get what Tommy Sotomayor is. He has a pretty big following. He's been banned from YouTube and Twitter a bunch because he's not that controversial. The only thing I'd say he's controversial about is he has a huge bias, bias about black women.
He can be pretty controversial. I mean, like he said that I think black people were sort of to blame for the slavery situation. He said like he's made a lot of like anti-Semitic remarks.
I don't know.
What else? Like there's a bunch of other shit. Like he's kind of like a lol cow, but he's definitely like pretty controversial guy. There's one thing that I'm gonna remember it in like 2 seconds, but yeah, there's one big thing that he oh no he was on David Duke's fucking show, which I think is hysterical.
What? Oh shit!
Black man on David Duke.
David Duke. David Duke, man, this fucking guy. He's the I would say he's the unofficial face of like the alt-right. Like say you have Richard Spencer, right? But then there's the David Duke guy that's been in the public eye for a very long time saying the same shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but not as big of a reaction.
He's not, but he's just not a meme lord like fucking Richard Spencer. That's the only difference. But
I just want to say something. First off, hi, I'm back.
What's up, dude? What's up, dude?
Scottish internet is the worst thing ever. But I just kind of agree with Roberto. Yeah, that's your name, right?
Yep.
Yeah. About if Richard Spencer came, that would be a disaster. Not only for like finance and stuff, but I think if Richard Spencer came, even though that you said that Phoenix is quite pretty big on free speech, I'm pretty sure Antifa would be.
They would go out of their way.
They would definitely come.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, but at the same time, listen, cops around here don't be putting up with that shit.
They don't.
Just never went.
You just have to ask yourself. But you have to ask yourself though: is it worth it? Because think about it. Think about Richard Spencer. He might even people that may have been willing to come before. They might not be willing to come, especially people on the left. They're like, "Oh, I ain't fucking with that shit." If Richard Spencer's around, so it's just more of the things.
What Louis Farrakhan did to Arsenal Hall's thing, that's how bad that could get.
Okay, yeah, it's one of those things where you have to think: is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth having them there? Because it might be. It might be one of those.
No, that's just a room full of people who want to kill Amos Yee.
That's the thing where, dude, he would get his ass fucking beat, dude. No, he would, and somebody would have 2 beers and they're fuck that guy, and then they're gonna whoop his ass. Like, that would be a terrible.
Make a different event for that. Sell tickets, cash out, retire.
No, that guy just has to stay fucking digital forever, dude. Jesus, man.
That'd be interesting too, because he's not a citizen.
All right, guys. So I'm gonna put this out here because we've been running for about 2 hours now. I'm gonna, if anybody wants to leave, I would say your piece now, because I'm gonna just read the super chats and then we're gonna wrap this up. So, does anybody want to leave right now and plug anything? Anybody?
Well, I really have to pee. So So I'm going to take off, but I've started streaming on Mondays and Fridays now and trying to get away from the most talked about stuff that we normally hear all the time on YouTube. So if you guys want, I'm streaming quick 30 minutes Mondays and Fridays at 7 o'clock and just talking about random tech and stuff like that. But my channel is Heavy Arms Kai 2000. Just hit me up. But as always, I enjoyed the discussion. Vadim, Matt, I totally understand your point, dude. Like with people feeling like they don't want to come, that I do understand your point, but I also understand Base Mama's like position as well, to where like if we can find like a good middle ground between the two, to where we can make it almost feel inviting for everybody without doing like what you said and having people think that, oh, this event is just for this group. And
sure.
Yeah, like I understand what you were saying.
I agree with you, and I think you know, I'll admit when I first saw the roster and saw like, because I didn't even know that it maybe I jumped the gun a little bit. I didn't know that it had been like discussed for a little while. You know, honestly, I did kind of think like, whoa, they really kind of stacked this, but I don't think anything happened like intentionally to kind of like create a like a slanted like
oh no
group of
I'll
people.
tell you right now, I agree with TJ Kirk on absolutely nothing.
And
like literally nothing.
And anyways, guys,
like
this
not
was fun.
one thing.
I have to pee.
Oh yeah. All right, man, go pee, man. Go pee.
Later.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
Bye.
So yes, yeah. I want to throw out there again that I do think it's very difficult to kind of cultivate like a real kind of, I don't know, balance with something like this. So I certainly don't fault you guys for what it is.
You have you're more stringent on either side who are like, fuck no, I'm not going to be in the same room. But I'm not going to lie to you. It was easier to get alt-righters in the same room with Jews and black guys than it is to get like literally anybody to just come and talk. Like, Jesus Christ, are you kidding me?
That makes sense.
I mean, I just think it's really ridiculous that we had no problem. It was like, look, you know, we're not gonna baby you. We're not gonna be like, okay, we're gonna keep the Jews away. Like, fuck you, get over it. And they're like, that's fine. You know, this is about having the conversation, and that, you know, we understand that we're made to feel uncomfortable, and that's sort of the point. And I'm like, okay, then.
You know, some of that's actually an extrovert thing more than it is, I think, probably even a left or a right thing. Because weirdly, what I found is like the friends that I have that are more left-leaning skew much more introverted, and a lot of my friends that are more right versus center people are more ambiverted, or they can go either way. But I found weirdly an interesting psychological correlation between extrovert introvert there. That might have a lot more to do with it now that I think about it.
That makes sense.
Possibly, yeah.
No, it is Jordan Peterson.
But like I was talking to the Bronx blogger, he seems pretty cool.
All right.
Omnidash seems cool. That should be good. Okay, sorry, super chat.
Yeah. Let me cut you all off. So
I'm gonna run though.
Yeah. Anybody else gonna bounce? Because I'm gonna read the super chats right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna run. I'm gonna record, and then I'm gonna drive to Atlanta for Thanksgiving. So first of all, I want to say, everybody, mad cool, great, interesting, intellectual conversation. I love working those parts of my brain. Derek, of course, I always support whatever you've got going on, buddy. Guys, donating super chat, hit up his Patreon. Keep it alive. Like, Adpocalypse 2.0 is real. I will be dropping a video about that. Freaking Elsa Gate. Thanks, everybody. Like, thanks, YouTube kids.
Okay.
Monetization. Yeah. So more of that to come. Everybody, happy holidays. Happy Thanksgiving. Any of you driving out of town, drive safe. Like and subscribe to this dude. Super chat. Donate.
All right, man. It's cool. I appreciate it.
Fundraiser. I'm like, what's his name? Riley from Boondocks and the fundraiser. Say your channel's name. Just
YouTube.com/Roberto
Blake 2 for all of your creative entrepreneur needs.
All right, man. Hey, appreciate it.
All right, later.
All right,
see ya.
All right, guys. Anybody else want to drop out before I read the super chats, and then, or you just want to stick around real quick because I think there's probably maybe 5 or something.
If there's any that involves me, I'll stick around, but I doubt there is.
Probably not. It's very like the patron streams are very low.
Yeah,
No.
yeah, I wouldn't expect that. Yeah, I'll get going, but thanks for having me on. And I just wanted to say, like, you know, in the future, if you want to like involve like someone who kind of sort of. I mean, I'm not like.
Uh-oh. Huh? Uh-oh. He just fucking, look how his face froze, dude. Oh, he's gone. Shit.
You know, again, my sound is gone.
Oh, are you back, dude?
Me?
Yeah, you froze for a sec.
Yeah, I'm here. I didn't realize that I ever left.
Oh yeah, you froze. So you were saying you froze that. You were saying if you ever need someone, and then you just fucking froze.
With the best face.
You're the best face, dude.
No, I was just saying, like, hey, you know, I'm not Shives, but you know, I'm sort of like somewhere, you know, I kind of like have a little bit of a different point of view than you sometimes feature on your channel. So if you're like looking for another point of view, just hit me up. You know, we're friends, and I'm down to like chat every now and then when I'm around.
For sure, man. For sure.
But if you think I'm an asshole and you're like, I don't want this fucking guy on my channel, then all right, that's cool too. But all right, I guess I'll get going. I guess I'll say check out Creationist Cat if you guys want to like see something. If you're into cool stuff, you guys like cool stuff.
Sounds like something that Pedophile would say.
Hello, fellow youth.
Wants to see cool stuff.
You want to see something stupid?
What?
Cool stuff in this
Nah, like cool stuff.
I think most people know who Creationist Cat is in here. I imagine so.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'm pretty fucking tired, actually.
All right, man. You have a good night. All right.
Later. Bye.
All right, later, dude.
Bye.
All right. So, anybody else want to drop out? I'm just gonna read these handful of super chats. There's barely any, so it's but they're fucking just generous motherfuckers, man. Jesus, too generous. All right, so real quick, just $5 from Just Saying, appreciate you. Says not to mention people further right usually have more disposable income. Deaf, red pill, black. See you all at Kilroy. Ticket already reserved. Cool. So there's somebody that's going to Kilroy. Appreciate that. It's gonna be fucking cool. I can't wait to. I loved meeting people at VidCon. It was so fun.
I hate that it's so far away because like we're talking about it now, it's making you hype for it.
Oh
and
yeah.
Then, like the fact that it's. I mean, I know like it's going to take a lot of planning, so I understand.
Yeah.
But
that's
you better come in early so we can hang out beforehand. Because I'm gonna be so mad if we have that whole weekend and I don't see you.
Yo, I can easily come. I mean, it's 5.5 hour drive for me. I've done it so many times. I can easily come over. It'll be fun. I mean, it was my mom moved back up here actually. Whatever. I'll figure it out. But I can still come down there. I really enjoy Arizona, and I've been wanting to go back to Sedona because I fucking love Sedona. It's so goddamn beautiful. It's like I don't want to get into it right now. I don't want to get. But okay. I'll see you earlier, and I'll hang out longer too. Like I won't just be there for just for the few days. But let's see, what is this? South Texas Death, $10. Appreciate you. It says, I miss when SBG said Papa Bless at the end of his vids. It was really a unique sign off. Because people start, and I think for the same reason, I think this person thinks that I made that up. I did not, and I stopped it for that reason. It's Ethan, this H3H3 thing.
Well, why did you start doing it in the first place?
Because I loved it as a yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was taking the what is he Jewish? I was appropriating the Jewish Papa Bless, I guess. No, I love that sign off so much that to me it was just like I want it to be a normal thing. You know, like not just he say Papa Bless, like other people, you'll leave and say, oh, Papa Bless. You know, it's just ridiculous. So I started a trend. So yeah, I started saying at the end of my video, but then people started to think that I made it up. And I was like, I don't want to, I don't want that to be a thing. I don't want that to be a thing where people think I made it up. And then all of a sudden they think that I was stealing from H3SD where it was more of an homage, it was an homage, you know? Yeah. So that's why I stopped saying it. Same reason why I stopped using my, that metal, intro I had from after the burial because I didn't want you know what I'm talking about. I stopped using it because well, number one, I asked them permission, they never got back to me. And I just didn't want there to be any problems. Like, you know, maybe they're like, hey, what the fuck is this guy doing? He's using our shit. I just didn't want to risk it, so I just stopped. Even though I thought it was pretty catchy.
You probably could have gotten a hold of them. They're not huge. You know?
I sent them. I follow them on Twitter. I sent them I sent them a message, and I was like, who the fuck runs this? Somebody's got to run it, and they just didn't reply to me. So I was like, fuck you guys. You know, I don't want to find their email. I don't know. It's just like their promotion is trash. I see other people. I don't know. Anyway, doesn't matter. Okay, so I gotta respond. I gotta refresh this real quick. So I don't know how to say that. Cyan? How would you say it? Cyan Ash? Cyan Ash?
Cyan.
Cyan? Cyan Ash?
I say Cyan.
Okay, Cyan.
That sounds like a pretty girl name. I don't think anyone would name their daughter Cyan.
No one's Cyan. Cyan? No, it'd be Cyan. Yeah, it'd be Cyan. Okay. What is that? Australian? These Aussie bucks right here? I think it's Aussie bucks. Serious question. If I did a costume for Halloween of a black figure, not in a mocking fashion, do you think that would ever be acceptable? I think to the majority of people, they wouldn't give a shit. I think the majority of people would not care. There would just be some of those problematic people on live that would say something. And I think that if people, even if they did have a problem with it, they probably wouldn't say anything to you. I think that people would probably just whisper under their breath to their friends or whoever the hell they're with, like, "Oh, that's fucked up."
No, I disagree because she's asking would it be acceptable. Even if no one said anything to her, there will be a lot of judgments, and I also think it depends on where she lives. Like if she's in a more conservative state or if she's in, you know, like maybe more of a liberal state. Because I know for sure if you did that here in LA, like if I went to a Halloween party dressed up as Oprah, like everyone would have a problem with me for sure.
Well, yeah, because it's just like
so she's asking if
it's one of those things acceptable? That like, well, it's one of those things that I would say you're a prominent figure, like maybe you're a black figure, but the thing is, I think the thing is the black face. Like I think that's the problem. Like say if you had to, like say for example,
but at the same time, if I tried to dress up as Oprah, I did her hair, but I didn't do anything to my face,
they probably wouldn't know
who I was.
Well, see, that's where it comes into. Like say you look at professional cosplayers, they know how to dress. And they don't have to, they can gender bend or they can say race bend or whatever the fuck you want to call it. Like say I could, like say I've seen a white guy do a Street Fighter character. I seen him do the black boxer Balrog. And I knew who he was because he's wearing the blue vest. He has his hair cut like how it is. And he didn't have to put on black, you know. And I just like, oh, you're Balrog. That's fucking cool. So you can do stuff like that. But I think people would have the problem say that when you paint yourself because it's not completely necessary. Me personally, I don't give a fuck because I know it's not. You're not being a dick. You're not doing it to be. You're just trying to dress. You're trying to perfect this cosplay or you're trying to perfect this costume. But a lot of other people, I wouldn't do it. I definitely wouldn't. I wouldn't do blackface because it would just it might.
I said just don't go there, girl.
People would probably have a fucking big problem.
You gotta be careful with social media too. I mean, someone takes a picture with you without even knowing, and they spread it around.
That's a good point. That's a good point. I was actually I was going through my Facebook messages, and there was a girl that she reached out to me, and I didn't see it because I was too many fucking messages on that shit. But she said that she was like, "Hey, I'm this girl that blew up on online because." She did she said she did a stupid ass Snapchat thing where she was doing one of those charcoal things, and then she said something about being black. I don't remember exactly what it was, but people
flipped out.
Had a huge fucking problem with it. And she was like, "Hey, I'm that you want to like stream or interview me or something?" And it was too late. I don't fucking care. But yeah, definitely, it's just
everyone would be like, "Who?" Maybe the week it was popular, but
yeah, it was one of those things that definitely don't put shit out there like that because then it's easy to just go up on Reddit or anything.
Warrior to find it, download it, and then put it all over.
You're fucked.
Yeah.
All right. So Elizabeth Looker, or Luker maybe, I don't know, who knows, but $20. Thank you so much. Just happy Thanksgiving to y'all and all the viewers. Stay safe and blessed. A lot of sweethearts here. I hope everybody does have a good Thanksgiving. I can't wait. I'm gonna eat a lot of shit. Even though I shouldn't be, I'm trying to.
Lucky Americans.
Right? Oh hell yeah, dude! you know we do. And then Gerg, I guess Gerg C, man, with $100, man. What the fuck are you doing, dude? What are you doing?
$100? Holy fuck!
What are you doing, man? Come on, man. But thank you so much, dude. Appreciate that.
That's fucking awesome. Holy crap!
Yeah, Yeah, some people are so fucking genuine. But if you want to see something that'll make you mad, I'll just say watch a Blair White stream or a Chris Ray Gun stream for like 10 minutes.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And then you'll see just whoo. You'll see like, oh man, I remember it was probably like 2 months ago or something. But I was watching a Chris Ray Gun live stream, and within a span of 5 minutes, and I'm sure it doesn't happen all the time, but within a span of 5 minutes, he made $1,000.
Oh my god.
5 minutes. 5 minutes. And but I will say
show boobs and not even make that much money. Fuck.
I disagree. If you actually were a titty streamer, I think people would be like, "What up? You know, how you doing?" They'd be like, "How you doing, titties?" But you know, that's one of the things that
you've seen me in person, so you know how like freakishly large my boobs are as compared to my body. Like it's like anime. It's weird.
Yeah, she does have anime titties, dude.
She looks like one of those mouse pads.
She has anime titties, and I know.
You just start embracing it.
I mean, see, it's hard to see in the thing right here. Like, okay,
no,
but
they still look good.
I mean, they look. No, I mean, I'm saying, but it's hard to tell.
Like, do it like that so I don't look like I'm like.
No, I totally
like
understand.
Freak. Like,
I totally
really hard.
It's not freak. I would say, but it's just I think maybe you don't want people to consider you, oh, she's all tits.
Girl.
She's just all tits. And but I say, for the sake of me being a man, I really like you had I know you had this like American like what do you call it? What do you call those, bathing suits or something like that? And
bikini.
The bikini. Thank you, bikini.
An American bathing.
It was like a flag.
You have seen my message to feminist video.
Yeah. So she
oh god, I regret that. So
back in the day, she was definitely showing the goods, and people were like, "Hey, she makes me feel better." You know?
Yeah.
That's a real thing though. Like, say, that's a real thing. Like people, like when as far as like statistics, and when you put up like people that see breasts, like men, especially on average, that see like breast more often, they're in a more elevated mood.
Yeah,
they actually feel a lot better because they're like, you know what, I feel good.
They're high on life.
And they're high. I remember I was talking to my friend. She was a barista, and she had a pretty large chest, and she said like, oh, the customers are like, they're so nice to her, and it's probably has to do a little bit with that because they just feel more nice. Like, oh, look, what a beautiful woman. And they just feel instantly better. And she proved her point. She proved her point by one guy that came in. Now, he didn't comment on her tits, but he was like, he brought in some flour, and she's like, oh, how nice. He's like, you know what? I just thought that every morning when I come in here to get coffee, you really start my day off right. Like, I feel like I'm in a really good mood. Well, I don't think it was all connected to her chest, but I say I know there's a part of it. It was just like, say, it was the full package.
You're making
about 80%.
The girl in the itty bitty titty committee feel pretty bad right now.
No, I'm not.
Okay,
I'm just saying.
If you're a happy chick, though, you automatically make everybody around you happy. I have to attest that.
It's yeah, and it's not. And I will say, look, it's definitely not, because I will say, for me personally, it's not about it's not like, say, titties, or like I said, I like ass. I say like tits are a plus, but an ass is a must. That's like my thing. I like booties, right?
Same here. I fucking love ass.
Yeah, ass is fucking great, dude. But like, say,
I'm out.
I didn't like him saying that in his accent. I love ass.
I love ass. I love eating that ass. I'm just kidding. But no, it's not about that. My thing is, what I'm really attracted to is just a smile. I love seeing just a beautiful smile, and it doesn't have to be, the teeth don't have to be perfect. Of course, if the teeth that are better are like really nice, right? But like just somebody that's just genuinely happy, like a girl that's genuinely happy.
In real life, have a great smile.
Yeah, dude, she's so genuine and so like so lovely and bubbly and one thing that I really appreciate for people, because not everybody's a hugger. I appreciate a good hug.
I'm such a hugger.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude, and I appreciate that. I like people that are genuine and they embrace you. They don't stick their ass out and just pat you like, how you doing? Like, I feel like, just shake my hand, dude. I'd rather just have a handshake. Yeah. You know, but people that genuinely hug you,
if you're gonna give a shitty hug, just give a handshake.
Just give a fucking handshake. See, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, we never read.
I didn't even read what he said, and then this one.
We were talking about tits.
Yeah, right. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay, so he said.
I think he'd be proud. I think he'd be proud.
So yeah. I'm gonna say it. But But he said, I'm looking forward to meeting you, Derek. And he says, I will be the skinny male with a smile. Hey, no, he's having a smile. Yeah, I just make sure you tell me who you are, dude. And then this dude has the fucking gall, dude, to just be like, after we said like $100 is like, come on, that's crazy. That's a lot, man. That's too much. And then he sends another $100 saying it's not a big deal.
Hey, Greg, if you want to come over to my live streams, I do them every Friday. Just saying.
Oh man, that's crazy, dude. Thank you so much, man. That's ridiculous. Especially, let me just say this. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, that I've been kind of jaded lately, and I've been kind of feeling uninspired. And I haven't been, which is kind of stupid because right now is the best time to make content because the CPM, the ad rates are higher than they usually are because it's the season. It's the holiday seasons. And so people are buying up ads more, and then you're getting better shit on there. This is what happens towards the end of the year. You'll see better rates, and I haven't really been making videos because I've just been feeling uninspired. And just seeing stuff like this, I'm like, all right, dude. You make this is the type of stuff that will inspire me because I'm like, dude, I can't not give back. I have to like make some good shit. You know what I'm saying?
Generous soul, you.
Like I have to. I'm just saying I have to give back. Like I can't just be like, all right, thanks, and then fuck off. I'm like, dude, no. This is the type of stuff that gets me like focused. So I really appreciate it. Thank you.
This is probably same. This guy probably gives like 1,000 in Blair White's stream or Chris Reagan's stream.
You never know. There's some people that just have. There's some people that are they're well off and they can do whatever they want with their money, and that's fucking cool. I mean, if I were able to do.
Sorry, you go on.
No, you go.
No, yeah. If I had the money, I would give all you like $100.
Exactly. So that's so cool. Like if you had, man, that's all it is. People like that just give like $2 stuff. I still am like, dude, thank you.
Cool.
That you would give anything. That you would give anything. It's so fucking.
And when
cool.
people give like $5, it adds up. So I don't know. I don't want anyone who only gave 5 or 10 to feel any less.
Hell no. Usually when people give like stuff like this, like 100, I get mad. I'm like, dude, that's too much, man. I would have been fine with 100. I'm just kidding. I'd be fine with like say $5, stuff like that, dude. Like seriously. And it's no big deal, but I'm
more than 10 in anything.
That's fucking sweet. All right, let me read. Damn it, the other one disappeared. But let me. Okay, I got 2 more, and then I'm gonna end this. I'm gonna end this stream. I'm gonna give people.
Unless someone else wants to give another 100.
No, don't fucking do that. Like, I don't want like that. I'm good. I'm good. This is not reverse psychology. I appreciate it. I really do. I'm good. So Scion.
It's pronounced C-Arn. She's saying it right here.
Oh, okay.
I said C-N.
Oh, C-Arn. Okay, so C-Arn. So yeah, I would never. Wait, I would.
This is the same girl who talked about doing blackface.
That's right. Okay, I would never. It's very PC in Australia now, and also it's pronounced. C-Arn. Keep up the good work. So okay, C-Arn. C-Arn. That's C-Arn. Really, C-Arn because like with an R.
There's
interesting.
No R.
But I guess that's just how it's pronounced, especially she's in Australia. But dude, I can't wait. I can't wait to go to Australia. I want to go so badly. I've been wanting to go for quite a while, and one of these days, and then I'll get to meet Bering and Sugar Tits. They're cool. They're cool people. But appreciate it. Thank you so much. And Grim Jim 666. 5 pounds, man. We got somebody from England. How you doing, man? How you doing?
Yeah, you got another $100.
Right. From the same guy? I'm not.
Probably.
Oh, hold on. God damn it. Okay. I'm going to. Dude, I don't want. Dude, no, I seriously. Okay, so did you see. Okay, let me see. Let me read this guy. Did you see we had a like drinking game going every time like was said? If so, shame on you. Don't think I didn't notice. I'm fucked. Cheers. Love y'all. We did notice.
No, he muted. He's like, do me a favor, get me a beer. And so I went to get him a beer, and then the drinking game started. He's like, "What is this drinking game about?" I'm like, every time he says "like," and he's like, "Get me another beer."
And then I'm gonna cut this out. And Vadim, you're cool, man. But like, yeah, you were saying "like" so much that people started playing a drinking game, and for a while when you were kind of going on, you're ranting about your thing. If you're still listening. I was taking a drink. You'll see me take multiple drinks in between while you're saying, like, because he was saying like a lot, and I know why. Like, say, because I know he's not normally. If you
feel nervous and uncomfortable, you tend to revert back to using the same word.
He's not normally like that. It's just that he was trying to figure out the best way possible to get his point across without like say just getting like shat on or something by somebody else. And I taught like, so he was kind of dancing around trying to figure out the best way to say something. And then you start saying like
but it's always fun like when the audience like starts doing like a comment.
That was fun.
Like
that was cool. That's why I love the fucking
when
chat.
When the chats like work together, when it's not just a bunch of random like pervy things, like when they actually like are all talking about the same thing, it's just so much more enjoyable to look over.
Yeah, absolutely.
I understand his pain there. I say like a lot.
Yeah, so. It happens, but honestly, so do I. I used to say like and a ton. If you look at my older videos,
I say a ton.
It's something that you'll knock as you start making more and more videos because you'll start cashing yourself. And now, if you look at my new videos, it's rare if I say something like that.
Yeah,
it's very rare. But if you look at one of my first videos that blew up, racism and metal, where I was doing a reply. The people were in the chat, in the comment section, calling me out, just kind of, like, but
it's like practice that I know over the internet. It's the same thing. Like you feel like you're speaking to an audience, so there's more pressure.
Yeah, exactly. And then Gurge C, man, it says making you mad. Another $100. Like you're not making me mad, but I'm just like, I seriously like, thank you, thank you.
Blown away.
But it's just like, dude. Chill. Come on, man. Like, chill. Like, I appreciate it. Just.
He was blown when the first 100 came in.
The first 100, I'm like, dude, thank you so much. And then now it's up $300. I'm like, okay, dude, calm down. Like, appreciate it, dude.
Once again, if you want to stop by my streams on Friday, I got 6 kids, man.
Hey, there you go, man. If you appreciate Kilroy, no, seriously, let me say something. Actually, Gerg, if you haven't donated to Kilroy or anything, if you or like say even Base Mama. I think that would be pretty fucking cool, man. Because this is super generous for me. I appreciate that, man. And that's the type of stuff, like I said, it genuinely does make me more. Like, I have to. These people are paying for. They want to see me make some shit. I got it. Like I'm back. Like it kind of was like a slap in the face almost. Where I said I've been feeling very jaded, and I'm like, you know what, dude, fuck that. I'm gonna start writing some shit up tonight. But okay, so RH derivation. $5 appreciated. And this is the last one. It says, got my tickets, and I can't wait to meet you guys. Have a great Thanksgiving. Good night. Hey, I can't wait to meet you too. Like we'll take pictures, we'll fucking hang out. I can't wait, dude. I loved meeting people. It was so fucking cool, dude. It was so cool meeting people at VidCon, and there's gonna be so many people at Kilroy. There's gonna be so many people at VidCon.
How many days is Kilroy? I feel dumb asking, but I haven't even paid attention. How many days?
It's 2 days. 2 days. We planned it on a weekend so people wouldn't have to take time off. So it's Saturday and Sunday.
No, I appreciate that so much. I'm one of those people. My boss.
Hey, buddy. Yeah, that's Derek. Yeah.
I know. Carpool.
Oh, my baby's like, hi.
What up?
Can you say hi? Hi, Derek. So cute. He's just smiling.
All right. I think we are officially done. I think we hammered out quite a bit of things. This went on so much longer than I thought I was going to go. But it's cool. It was cool.
Well, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Hell yeah. I'm glad I'm glad you stopped by.
Base Mama, you're such a badass. Like, seriously. You're so cool. I feel lame saying that, but you're such a badass. I know.
Nah, that's cool. Hey, why the hell not? I've done the same thing to people.
Oh crap!
Listen, come in early. Listen, come in early. Come in on Friday. You get are you guys coming out together?
Yeah, we'll carpool, and then I'll come early for sure.
Come out. Be here before Friday, or come in on Friday morning or whatever, because I'm gonna take Blair to go get our nails done and do facials at this really nice place. You should come with, because you can get a group rate. The more people you bring, the cheaper it is.
Well, I don't know if he wants to get his nails done.
I mean, I can look. I'm pretty good at. I've been in a relationship before. I've genuinely have sat in the waiting chairs or whatever, and while homegirl got her nails done and her hair done or whatever, whatever situation it was, as long as I have my phone and a podcast, I am okay. So it's totally all right. It's totally all right. I can actually.
Cool. Then I'll come on Friday. I'll try to get one day off to go. If I get I will try to get Friday off.
Hell yeah, we'll do it. We'll talk behind the scenes stuff like that. Want to say thanks everybody in the chat that stopped by. It was cool. The drinking game was awesome. You guys are great, dude. I hope a lot of you guys. I hope a lot of you can be able to show up to Kilroy. If you can't, I'm gonna get some footage. We're gonna have a good time. It's gonna be a good time. And yeah, I just want to say thanks, Base Mom, for stopping by. Appreciate it very much. So, Ross, fucking Jesus, man, it was good talking to you, man.
Thanks for coming back. Seriously, you resurrected.
Yeah, thank you. I've come back to just fucking look at memes because I love memes. That's all I have to say.
Memes are the fucking best, dude.
Yeah,
big dreams and dank memes, dude. Big dreams and dank memes. That's what life's all about.
Yeah.
All
I
right?
like the fact that it has an American flag. I just want to say that. Like, I really appreciate you having an American flag.
We got a fucking Scottish guy with an American flag.
No, listen, I actually have a Scottish flag up above me right now, but you just can't see it. So
okay.
I have 2 flags. I fucking love America. I'm just gonna say that.
Hey, America loves you, man. America loves you.
You could come out, you know.
And fucking Scottish love me too.
Fuck yeah, dude.
But yeah.
All right, and then Troy. Troy fucking never says anything when he comes to these things.
I'm the voice of reason.
You're the voice of silence. You never say shit. Like, you just hang out.
White silence is violence.
White silence. What even are you? What are you?
I'm Hispanic, but I mean technically that's Caucasian, so
I guess according to Tariq Nasheed, yeah.
Yeah.
You can be Hispanic white supremacist.
There was comments saying like he's not talking or I'm not talking, but it's like we're just listening to everyone else. Like sorry we're not
when you have you have like 8 people in the chat, it's kind of hard, you know what I mean?
It's like when it's smaller right now, I don't mind, but like when there's that many people, it's just like I'm just gonna listen.
Yeah, and people are making good points, so it's like you don't want to just
you don't want to interrupt them.
Fucking interrupt them with some
you right now.
meme.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah,
all right,
sorry,
guys.
I already said this, but sorry for dropping out. My internet is just absolutely diabolically shit. So sorry about that earlier.
No worries.
We're not holding it against you.
You don't have to apologize. It happens to people all the time. They just come back and then we pick up where they left off. You know, it's all
hopefully
good.
Next year it won't happen.
Yeah. You'll be fine, man. You'll be fine. Maybe you'll be living in America, and you'll have the fastest fucking internet. I don't know.
Please.
He's like, oh, that'd be great. Hey, you never know, man. You never know. Maybe I'll somehow have like a shitload of money, and then I'll just be like, hey, I remember you. Come over here, and then we'll fucking party.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
great all right, guys. All right, hell yeah. Hey, guys, thanks for watching. Yeah, and fucking, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this every week. What the fuck am I saying? We're gonna do this every month. Jesus Christ. I need another beer. All right, so yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Make sure you hit up kilroyevent.com so you guys can see what's going on. If you want to donate, if you want to reserve your tickets in advance, help out and stuff like that. And I'm going to be promoting and hawking this shit a lot more because it's important. And yeah, I'm sure it's gonna go off without a hitch. It's gonna be fucking sweet. So hey, you guys have a great night and happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Just for that one donation who misses Papa Bless, just do it for them.
Okay, that's a good idea. And yeah, to everyone listening, everybody here, Papa bless.
Papa bless.
Very nice.